game one.
Yeah, and if we look at the map pool, obviously there's 5 maps here. That means that Arena was banned, and also Budapest. People don't want to play Budapest in team games, and can you really blame them?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I think that all teams will be confident in their abilities, but there's more room for error, and players do not like mistakes.
And it's interesting because I think Secret banned Budapest because that was the one game that they lost to Aftermath last weekend.
Yeah, and that game wasn't even close, was it? AM just destroyed them on Budapest. So it makes sense. Players want to play to their strengths. And we're going to see a lot of strong players here. Before we start, I just want to point out LoS is, in my opinion, the most underrated team in terms of team game synergy in the tournament. LoS, they played together for a very long time, and they have some players that Secret will not want to face up against at full strength.
And they've got an impressive history, right? I mean, they have been together a long time, like you say. I mean, they won. Well, okay, LoS didn't win, but their players won the Last Nations Cup, and they've had consistent tournament results for years now. So this is a really hype match, and last time Secret played, it was a 2-1 victory. It was a hard-fought 2-1 victory against Aftermath. Let's see what LoS can bring to the table, and maybe it will give us an idea about the power balance between LoS and Aftermath as well.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. We'll tell Robo to start the game already and get the 14s in the chat.
14.
It's funny because that's literally how it works. If I type 14, the game does actually start. So it's not. I'm not making it up when I say that.
Yeah, there's an AoE 14 emote for the Escape channel as well.
There is.
For all of you Escape subs out there.
Get your hands on it. Get it while it's hot.
Hey, you added a few other ones here too. Nice.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the Salt. The Salt is the most creative. Probably the most underrated Age of Empires emote in the community. That's really creative. I like it.
The trade cart full of salt. I mean, what else are they trading? Trading salt with each other as we go into game number 1 between LoS and Secret here. A best of 5 to find out who will move forward and face SY in the grand final of Europe East 4v4. This is the last day of Europe East. We will be moving on to Africa next, so relish it, enjoy it, and take these games and enjoy every second of it, because we're here on Team Acropolis. We've got Team Secret, LoS, 2 fantastic teams, and we'll see what they can do. What damage can they inflict? T90, I'll let you take it away and introduce the teams.
All right, I'm going to start off with Team Secret. As Zach said, I am T90 official. If you don't know who I am and have any interest in checking out my content, you can actually type !casters. Zach made it easy. And also make sure to click Zero Empires there and leave him a follow. For Secret in the north, we have Doubt. Doubt is playing as the Berbers. In the yellow, we have Viper. Viper's playing as the Mongols. In the orange, we have Tato. Tato's playing as the Spanish. And the other flank then is Jordan 23, playing as the Slavs.
Yeah, and I think they pretty much ran this. No, they didn't actually. Or did they? I actually can't remember. No, they didn't. Last time they played Team Acropolis versus AM. AM had Slavs, and Secret had something else. I can't remember what they had, but they're running Slavs now. But it does seem like this Spanish, Mongol, and Berber combination is extremely strong, and it's going to be Doubt on the Berbers again here, which we saw him playing last time. I do like this. We'll talk a bit more about the civs in detail and how they're going to synergize in detail after we've looked at the other team, because to the east of the map, in the green, we have Miguel for Team LoS. He's playing as the Mayans here. The pocket, well, there isn't a pocket. Next to him, in the teal, is Dagao playing as the Khmer. In the blue, we've got Fire playing as Turks. And then in the grey, we've got Riot playing as Teutons. What is going on? There's not a single mirror here anywhere.
I think we're going to see a sling. We saw it before. Who was it? Was it Dogao that slung Riot? Do you recall? LoS first coachers?
Yes, I think it was.
One of the LoS players ended up slinging Riot in the previous Team Acropolis game we saw in the quarterfinals. I genuinely feel like Turks means there's just going to be a sling here. And if they are going to sling, we'll probably see a lot of walls, which is not easy to do on this map, by the way.
Yeah, you basically got a wall from one side to the other.
Yeah.
And where they've spawned, they've actually spawned in the corners. So the team walls are going to be more like a little bit more diagonal, which is awkward.
Yeah, Turks. The reason I think Turks is going to be a sling, at least at the start, is because they collect the gold faster, so you can send that much more gold to an ally. I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I just don't see any reason you would exclude some of the Civ picks that Secret have gone for, unless you wanted to switch it up a little bit. Certainly for Secret, they would love to have Viper on full Magnetai. They'd love to have Doubt on full Camel Archer. Paladins then for Tato and Jordan 23. Questionable with slabs, but probably infantry and siege, which is the norm for them.
Basically, feed and siege. Basically,
Yeah.
it's you make halbs, the halbs die, the siege might do some damage, but the slab player might not be contributing too much in the late game. There's always a possibility of adding Boyar if the other team's running 2 paladin civs and making paladins, but we're not going to see that because we've got Khmer, Turks, and Mayans, so it's going to be plumes. It's probably going to be elephants.
Yeah.
And in that case, actually, Boyar could still be pretty good, but I think they'd probably prefer the Dragina halbs. And my concern here is the Turks. I mean, obviously, the Turks sling could be strong, but they do have to eventually, if the game goes long, make something out of the Turk player. And it's probably going to be Bombard Towers.
Cav Archers.
Oh, my God. You know what it's going to be? Tristan, it is going to be Teuton Bombard Towers full of Turk Elite Janissary, and they're going to be doing 3 Bombard Cannonballs, and they're just going to wreck everything. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that, but if we see it one time, if they just do it once for the stream, I'd love them forever.
Please do it.
It'd be hilarious.
They would go down. I've never seen it in a competitive match before.
No, it's one of those little Easter eggs of the game. So what is it again? If you have Teutons and Turks, a
Teuton Bombard Tower with 10 Elite Janissaries fires 3 cannonballs.
Yeah, which is totally worth it.
Totally
worth it.
360
Might as well create
damage.
200.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't think Secret would know how to deal with that. They're not good enough to do that, honestly. So we've talked about the late game strengths of the teams. There is early game potential here, and Jordan 23 is about to hit Feudal Age. So I assume for him it will be Scouts. Viper as well for Secret will hit Feudal Age. So a more aggressive Feudal Age for the Secret players. And yeah, it will be Scouts for both of them. LoS, look at the walling. Just crazy amount of walls for them. They need to get this up before the Scouts get through.
Yep, Viper's going to get a free scout pick on the north side as well, and Degao lost a villager early on.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yes, LoS, a lot of walling going on. I think they need it. They need to negate this feudal damage. That's going to make their sling a little stronger as well, if that's indeed what they're going for. Got to be careful not to overchop, though. Look at Degao's woodline on the front. That's a potential for a hole, and there is a hole. So he's patching that up right now, and again, has to be careful. The problem with this, of course, is you're forfeiting the big wood. You are not taking the center of the map where the thicker wood lines are. You are just taking the small wood on the Acropolis. That's fine for now, but at some point they have to move out, and they're going to do that with hopefully a stronger aggression in the Castle Age here.
I'm looking at the builds right now, and I don't know if we'll see a sling. That was my guess. But there's only 3 villagers on gold for fire, and his resources are looking set for fast castle into knights or camels. So there's always potential for that sling. But dude, if they're not slinging here, why would you not have Mongols or Berbers? I just don't understand it yet.
I think they want to win the game, and they want to win it fast. I think that might be the play, and if not, then they've got the Khmer perhaps to try and brute force the win in the early Imperial Age with some elephants, elite elephants. I think right now, though, you know, the Turks, it's the market coming up, more villages being added. It does still look like this could be the sling here. It does not look like it. I want to say it doesn't look like a fast castle, but it's kind of looking like a fast castle from the resource perspective, but it should be a sling.
Yeah, the market's gone up, and yeah, he slings Miguel. Okay, so we were right on that, and he's slinging the Mayan player, who will be going full plumes. He's just waiting for his market and blacksmiths to complete, and he'll advance to Castle Age. So maybe kind of a double sling. Maybe you send resources to Dogal to get Dogal to the Imperial Age, but certainly first start with Miguel.
Okay, and one thing I'd like to point out right now is Secret's reaction to this. They went for feudal aggression. How much military did they make? Viper made 1 scout, Jordan made 2. They
Exactly.
didn't over-invest, they didn't overcommit, and that was exactly the right thing to do.
However, that does leave them a bit behind. Had they known that the opponents would have gone for this strategy, I don't think they would have gone for feudal age at all. They could have just boomed to castle age. So maybe this strategy has kind of worked out so far for the Brazilians here. Viper's on stone. Doubt's on stone. Doubt's on his way to castle age. So Doubt will go for Camel Archers. Viper will go for Mangadai. And that, once it gets going, is going to be hard to stop because Doubt and Viper are two of the very best with those units.
Yeah, Castle Age Mangadai, though, need a lot of upgrades. Not the best.
For sure.
But Castle Age Camel Archers are awesome, and they're always going to be awesome, and they're always going to be relevant in the game, in the Imperial Age as well. So that's good.
Look at what Miguel is building.
Barracks. Okay.
So maybe he builds a castle, fakes like he's going plumes, then just clicks up to Imp immediately and goes for Eagles, which would counter the Camel Archers and the Mangadai.
Man, maybe LoS are actually playing underwater 10-dimensional Mahjong right now. Like, maybe. I don't know. I think building a castle as a bait is probably a little bit too much.
I mean, for El Dorado, there would be El Dorado, of course. I mean, you're going to build a castle because you can get El Dorado, but you're right. It would kind of serve the purpose of baiting them potentially into thinking he's going plumes. Wow, I'm excited to see this.
Me too. I think, it might just catch them by surprise. And of course, because of these walls, Secret have no scouting information of the barracks.
Riot, it's a double sling. Riot just sent resources as well. So Riot is sending resources to Miguel. Fire is sending resources to Miguel. It's all on my boy. This is the guy who messaged me earlier and said that he loved me. So I'm kind of biased.
And then when you look at it, right, Turks and Teutons, Turks faster gathering gold, Teutons cheaper farms.
Yep.
It starts to make sense. I would have liked to see, I would still have liked to see the Berbers instead of the Khmer, though, because the Berbers could follow up with the cheaper stable as well, which would just, I think, catapult them even further ahead. But you can also see the Khmer as being the late game powerhouse that if they get up and running, then they might just be unstoppable.
So just to go through this in order, Miguel is receiving sling from 2 of his allies. He is going on the way to the Imperial Age. It'll be all him for his team. He'll go for Lee Eagles. Dogao is just booming up, so at some stage he'll try and get into the action, but he's relying on his own economy right now and cannot afford to do so. Riot and Fire are simply slinging, and lots of walls coming up for LoS. Perhaps, Zach, this plays into the mindset that LoS will have versus Secret throughout the day today. Are they not confident enough to play like a straight-up style versus Secret? It's possible.
Late game is hard versus these guys, right? It's very hard. They're so coordinated. They have great map presence. And I think they need to win it before it gets to that stage. Otherwise, you end up in a grind fest that you are probably going to lose. And I think that they're trying to take that approach right here, keeping the Eagles back for now. Miguel will start to send them out. But what are Secret doing at the moment? You've got Viper making, at the moment, a boom. Doesn't have a castle. Will have one soon.
I don't think they know about this, Zach. Sorry to interrupt you, but just look at the fog of war for Secret. They saw the castle going up. They did not see any barracks. So these Eagles could be a huge surprise. They're expecting plumes.
Look at Tato, by the way. Double monastery. Expecting some kind of like knight aggression or something. Hasn't made a single conquistador. Viper's not built a castle yet. Doubt only has 8 camel archers.
And Doubt sees it now. And Doubt is probably saying, oh man.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Miguel, elite eagle warrior on the way. Doubt doesn't even have fletching yet.
They're not expecting this. Doubt loses 1 Camel Archer. Doesn't matter how many he has, really, against Elite Eagles with El Dorado. If that does come in, it's going to be really hard to stop this. For Secret, they have all their team booming up. They have their own economy, but they have to hold for quite a while now. And here comes Miguel.
No walls. He won straight in. Of course, it's Doubt who's not walled the front of his base. It would be, wouldn't it? And if he finds that wood line on the left, oh man, that is going to be a lot of damage. And he's running straight over there right now. These Elite Eagles ready to rumble. And let's see if he is he going to find the wood line? He's going to find it. He's going to see it. Oh no. Doubt has to run away. Doesn't lose too many vills, fortunately.
Dude, faster Berber vills, man.
It saves the day, man.
I mean, they only lost one bill so far. I say that as Viper loses 2 more. This can snowball real quick, but it's important that Miguel does more damage. He's only killed a few villagers. 2 of his teammates are not in the game, so he has to do more. Viper's actually added a few knights here. I don't think he should make much more of them. But then again, how do you hold?
Oh, you have to make knights, I think.
Yeah, you
can't
have
make
maybe Doubt should go for knights because it's cheaper. It's tough.
Well, I think that, this is similar to what LoS did last time they played on this map. They did do a Goth sling, and they sent Huskars and Pikes, but it wasn't good enough. This time, the Elite Eagles are a little faster. They're able to do a bit more damage, but the damage hasn't been there just yet. But they're also buying time for the Khmer player, who's on 14 Cs and can start following this up with some elephants a bit later on, perhaps.
Oh, and there was a hole in Jordan 23's wall. Miguel is here with Eagles. Miguel is up against Knights, though, so he's going to go back for the time being. And El Dorado's on the way, so now these Eagles get real tough to deal with. Now these Eagles can chew up Knights. 100 HP Eagles soon for Miguel.
But you're making such a severe reaction from Secret as well. You've got the Slab player making Knights, you've got the Mongol player making Knights, and well, obviously the Spanish player's making some Conquistadors right now. Maybe that's not really the ideal situation for them. They're not going to want to be going down that path when they hit the Imperial Age. And look at this. I think Miguel did arson because he's taking that TC down very quickly. Jordan's coming over, though, with some Knights, and there's some Conks to back it up. So maybe Miguel will take the fight here. We'll see. They're working with a hill bonus as well, so that's good.
That was smart thinking from Miguel. He reacted immediately to those Knights coming in. That's great. That's a good fight. Chewing up the Knights. So much HP, so much tankiness to these Eagles now.
8 pierce armor, 100 health.
Dude, he's doing a great job now. He's going back to Doubt, so he's keeping Secret on their toes.
Can he get it? Can he get it? No, he can't.
Oh,
he's got it. He's in on the gold. Doubt's going to have to bail again, and even if he's not killing villagers, T90, he is forcing them to go idle. And now, look at the map control for LoS. Look at that wall, that aggressive wall from Fire. That is a nice wall for this game. Riot as well, walling the right side. This might not be a game-winning move, but it's going to set them up really well.
Exactly. I mean, Dogal has the big boom. Dogal clicks up to the Imperial Age. Viper, nice quick wall to keep the Eagles out. But the point is, Zach, that the Brazilians will have a much better position in late game at this rate. And it's not as though Fire and Riot can't get into the game. They can. They still need a little bit more time. So LoS can start to trade earlier. They'll have healthier economies. And everywhere you look now, Miguel has Eagles on top of the Secret players.
Oh, man. Yes, he does. He's 56 kills, 26 deaths. And the key thing about this, they're playing for position. It's, you're playing for position. I say,
Doubt's Castle. Doubt's Castle between the TCs.
It's a Doubt Castle.
Of course.
It has to be.
Of course it is.
He even tries to make it safe, and it's a Doubt Castle.
Like, that's the place to build it. And somehow the Eagles are just attracted to it.
Oh, man. As more and more Eagles come out, it's getting harder and harder. LoS looking like they are on the path to victory right here. Dogal nearly up to Imperial, and you bet he's adding stables in the middle of the map. You bet he's doing scale barding armor and forging to get some damn elephants out on the field. Doubt's going to try and finish the castle. Tristan, not like this.
Oh, my God. This is fine, man. This is fine. No problems. He's down to 49 villagers, 47 villagers. Half of the villagers he has are idle, so Doubt has pretty much been canceled out of this game. Jordan hasn't had the best time either. Jordan lost that TC in a batch of vills, and this is before Dogal arrives. So we were talking about it. AM for Secret, as Doubt's about to lose everything.
Look at these TCs going down to the Eagles. Where's the bailout? He's coming up.
Secret are struggling versus the Sling. This is the second time that Secret are struggling versus Sling. It might be their one weak point.
But there's few maps that you can do it on. This is a map which LoS can pull this off because the team starting positions make this possible. This is not possible on Arabia. You can't do this on Arabia unless you're fully walled, which, probably not going to happen too easily.
I think it's over, honestly. Doubt is at 28 villagers. He will not help with Camel Archers. Viper, he's not on his way to Imp. He can't really help with Mangadai. The Conquistadors from Tato are nice against Eagles. That's their best option. But this is all before the Elephants arrive, and I just don't see an answer.
Tato's doing Inquisition right now. All right, then.
Yeah.
Doubt will get a castle up on the front, but, these guys just weren't prepared for this. What's the best counter to an Elite Eagle Warrior rush? Walls.
Yeah, walls.
You've got a wall.
And you have to scout it. Like, if someone's slinging, you have to know what they're throwing at you. They just assumed it was plumes. If it was plumes, they could have held easier with the camel archers and the Mangadai, which is probably why they didn't wall, because they would have had mobility. But Eagles surprised them, and it's not often you see the secret players Doubt, Viper, Jordan, and Tato surprised, because they played this game for years.
But, even if they repel this now, which, let's be honest, they won't, because there's Elite Battle Elephants following up, as we said before.
Exactly.
So Swords just finishing. They've got a terrible amount of map now. Like, the LoS team are in a great position. They can start setting up trade. They've locked down the map. They've got the wall off. Secret aren't going to get a wall off. Secret aren't going to be able to hold on past the elephant push, though, so I don't think that even matters at this point. But, this is a really good strat from LoS.
Oh, Viper needs to wall these Eagles. Can he? Oh my God.
Pull that off.
He almost walled it off, man. And now the elephants are coming through as well. Viper was so close with the quick wall.
Damn.
They're trying desperately to keep the Eagles out, but the Eagles have found a way in. And it is not going to stop there. More elephants, more Eagles will flood through here.
The Eagles have landed as Tato and Jordan go up to the Imperial Age now, and it's incredibly impressive, to be honest, that these guys have been able to boom under this pressure. It's something that just sets these guys apart from the likes of you or me. It's something else. But Miguel is such a threat. Look at this. He'll take down this TC in about 7 or 8 hits, and that just forces Tato to run to the hills. Maybe instead of Inquisition, he could have done Supremacy, but he's not Imperial Age yet, so what a shame.
Yeah, I mean, Miguel is also splitting up his Eagles, and he's going after small groups of villagers, which is smart. You don't want to go after just buildings. The same is happening now with Dogal. It is impressive just how they're still alive here, because I thought for sure they would have been dead by now, but I think that a time will soon come, because now trebuchets are being mixed in from Dogal on the front, and Doubt might have a few castles up. He might have gotten the one that was denied earlier up, but he'll lose them to the Trebs, and they have no answer to that.
Well, there's still a chance. There's always a chance. They've not called GG yet, so they're hoping that once Tato and Jordan get Imp, they can start to turn this around, but things are not looking good. But, Secret, they will continue fighting. They will continue to hold their heads above water for now. I just don't realistically see it happening when you've got these elephants which are starting to mass. Yes, it's going to be a little while before they're ready to make the big push, but when it comes, they will not be able to hold on against that. Not with Elite Conquistador, not with some Camel Archers. They need upgrades, they need something else.
They could just delay this. Like, maybe if Jordan gets to full strength, he is an Imp now, he could get to Champion and Halb. I mean, it'll take some time. I think Viper should use his Mangadai to snipe the Trebs.
Yeah, I think so. He has to slow the siege, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's a very small percentage of victory at this rate as Jordan loses villagers and another TC to Miguel in the south.
Yeah, absolutely. And Doubt now is in so much trouble as well. He's at 43 pop. Maybe this is where Doubt starts to sling something back to his teammates who are in, so they can do something. But even then, what do? We are starting to see some monks coming out, but it won't be enough. But Jordan has got Halb, the Slavic Halbs, the best Halbs in the game once Dragina is researched. It's something. Could hold on here. Now, Elite Conquistador, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like it's an expensive upgrade for a very little improvement.
Well, initially, Conquistadors was the right play. Before they knew what was going to happen, Conquistadors are great because you can raid your opponent's economy on the other side of the map. So I think it's one of those cases where Tato went with Conquistador and he has to stick with Conquistador because going into Knights is just too difficult.
Yeah, it's a hard transition, right, to make now. Yes.
I mean, Viper's about to hit the Imperial Age. If he can get to Elite Mangadai, which will be tough because he's losing so many villagers, with the Elite Conquistador, with the Halbs and Champions of Jordan, there's still a chance. But, Zach, as we said, it's not like this will be it for Brazil. They're still pushing in, and all the teammates, Ria and Fire, they could advance to the next stage, and they could jump into the fights now.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this, Dugao's nearly 200 pop, Miguel's nearly 200 pop. This is where your Turk and your choosing players start to transition to Castle as well, and they can start contributing to the fight. But Doubt is down to 16 villagers, 31 population. He is not getting back into this game, and they're just hoping that the three of them, Viper, Tato, and Jordan, can hold on. But it's interesting, they've recognized that the main push is coming in the north. Everything that Jordan makes is being focused on the north, while he's himself kind of getting raided and just ignoring it for now. Because they need the Halbs up here if they want to be able to push this back, but boy, are they getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, they have to kill Viper's castles. Viper has one castle remaining after he loses this one here. And, oh, I'm sorry, he'll have two remaining. Yeah. But still, it's not a great situation for him. That his TCs are all idle, and he'll probably lose the villagers that are in them.
Elite Mangudai now done. We have chemistry on the way. He's hoping that that might just allow them to do something here.
Doubt has 15 bills, Zach.
Yeah, it's over. I think they're in this castle.
it's pretty obvious just how well Miguel has done with the raids. When he has 356 kills,
man.
He's not just fighting in the main fight here. He's been raiding Jordan and Tato, as you said, and also Doubt. Incredible stuff from Miguel here, and I don't see a way back for Secret.
Well, I think actually Jordan could have gone Boya all along. Could have been a good decision against the Battle Elephants and the Eagles, but man, the Battle Elephants, they are so damn good. And with 16 plus 7 attack, 10 melee armor on the Boya isn't really going to make much of a difference anyway.
What it came down to, and there's the GG, what it came down to is that how quick the push was from Miguel and Dogao. It did not allow the Secret players to get to their strong techs. Tato ideally would not be on Conquistador. He would be on Paladin. Yes. Viper got his Mangudai, but he didn't get all the upgrades. He didn't have the resources to make more. Doubt, I mean, he has very little left at this point. And Jordan, even him losing those villagers prevented him from getting to the champion, getting to the bowyards he might want. And yet again, Secret dies to the sling. This one was more impressive, though, because not only did they die to the sling, they didn't know it was going to be Eagle Warriors. They expected plumes, and that's why this played out like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting because LoS executed this so well, right? I think Khmer, when they've got resources, probably the strongest civ in the game. I think it might have been you who said this as well recently. They are absurdly good with those elephants, and even with the ballista elephants and scorpions if they wanted to go down that route as well. For this case, elite battle elephants good enough. But the fact that Miguel pushed so quickly gave them an opening for Dogao to come in behind with the elephants. It's like the perfect 1-2. It's a good combo. And meanwhile, Fire and Riot just sitting at home, slinging the resources, having a good time.
They were motivating Miguel, I'm sure. Like, you got this, bro. You got this. What are you doing? Just booming up. I'll send you some more resources. I love how that played out, man. That's the first time I've seen that Secret completely blindsided by something. These are arguably the most experienced players in the game, and they did not expect that. If they expected it, if they scouted it, Doubt could have gone Knights as Berbers. Tato with his conks, that would have helped. Jordan even could have gone Knights, and I'm sure they would have had a different approach. But that's game one, man. Game two is coming up, and Secret needs a response.
Exactly. Looking at that mini-map, like this push is like a spear through the heart of Team Secret here.
Yeah.
It hurts. That teal spear just like, damn, driving it deep. But this is the only map, I think, that the LoS could pull a strat like this. Just because of the start locations, I don't think they can pull this off on a map like Scandinavia or Cross. There's too much to play for in the early game with the ponds and with the more open map that you find. We'll take a quick look at the achievements here. I don't think there's much to see because we've kind of seen it all on the overlay already. But LoS winning Acropolis in game one, off to a strong start. Miguel, MVP for his team in the end there, 402 kills and 237 losses, but boy, that was a lot of damage.
I'm a little bit taken back by that, in all honesty, because initially when I saw the civs, I thought, oh no, what is LoS doing? It worked out, man. It worked out. I think there's potential for sling on the next couple maps, but definitely not a double sling. That's far too risky.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too risky to do that. On a map like Valley, It's a little bit easier to wall up than some of the other maps, actually. The wood lines make it a little bit easier to close the team more.
Yep.
But I still think a double sling is too risky on this one. And, this is funny, right? This is even after we nerfed sling. We increased the sling tax to 40%, and we moved coinage to the Imperial Age and removed banking. So every 100 resources that the LoS teams sent to their teammates, they were only receiving 60.
Yeah, a lot of people say you need to nerf sling, you need to nerf sling. Honestly, at this point, it's a huge risk to do that. If Miguel wouldn't have been able to kill the villagers he killed within the first 5 minutes there, the game was over because all the secret players were fully booming up.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that sling is an issue in Age of Empires 2. I think that the nerf was appropriate. However, that's just a strategy choice, and that was the risk that LOS took, and it just happened to work out, just like any other strategy.
Yeah, the thing with sling is it's not about nerfing it or buffing it so that it's weak or strong. It's about balancing it, right? There are opportunities to sling. It's always got to be a risk to do it because, like everything in Age of Empires 2, it is risk versus reward. You take a risk, if it pays off, you are rewarded. And if sling is a no-brainer, if sling is like, okay, well, we just sling and we win, or we have to sling otherwise we lose, then that's not a risk versus reward situation. And I think sling is in that place right now. I think sling is balanced from my perspective.
Yeah. One more small thing to bring up before we get into the Valley game. Just talking about how Secret tend to play their games. Viper is the most well-known player in the community. He's the best player in the community. The guy never, in 1v1s, he rarely goes for the high-risk, high-reward strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
He plays extremely safe. He takes multiple good but small engagements that add up. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how Secret play. That's how the experienced players tend to play. That's why you rarely see them slinging, because they don't like that high risk. So I don't think high risk is something that you can go with in every game. You definitely need to play more safe. We'll see in game 2, though, how LOS play it, because as you said, Zach, I don't think that the double sling potential is there, so it will need to be a more standard game for LOS.
Exactly. So let's find out.
Yeah,
4
let's find
teams
out.
in the chat as we go into game number 2. Valley, LOS versus Secret, and Secret trail, much to the surprise of many, I'm sure.
My prediction was 3-2 Secret for this best of 5, by the way.
Okay.
So I think I did not expect LOS to win Team Acropolis, so I could be surprised as well.
I like that prediction, though, because that means you predict 5 games, and that's what I want to see. So let's go into game 2 here. Secret versus LOS, or LOS versus Secret, I should say, if we were to go left to right on the scoreboard. LOS leading 1-0 as we go into our second match on Valley. Joining me once again, T90. Great to have you. Really enjoying today and enjoying these games and casting with you as well.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it as well, man. Secret probably didn't enjoy that first game. I'm going to start with them. And Viper is the flank this time around. He's playing as the Huns in the yellow. His pocket is Tato. Tato is playing as the Chinese. The other pocket is Doubt, who is Indian's pocket. That will be extremely strong. And then last but not least, we have Jordan 23. He is playing as Teutons on the flank. Zach, do you want to take it away with LOS then?
Yeah, to the northeast in the teal, we have Dugao playing as the Malians on the flank. Pocket is Miguel in the green, playing as the Magyars. Second pocket is Riot, playing in the grey as the Indians. And then down to the south, it's Fire in the blue, playing as the Slavs. So we are going to see some asymmetrical civs, but we will see 2 Indian pockets here, and I think that's going to be important.
I think that this is the ideal positions for the civilizations. Maybe you could say you'd prefer Magyars over Malians, like the Magyars would be a better flank, but I don't think there will be any complaints from the players here, which is kind of refreshing because sometimes it can be awkward for Indians when they're flank, and I kind of want to see them at full strength since both teams have them.
You know what? I really like LOS's lineup, and I like their positioning right now. They don't really have any bad flank or pocket civs. Like, no matter where they spawn, I think they're going to be happy with it. But I think this is decent as well. Malian on the flank and Slav on the flank. I think we'll see some Drush or Man-at-Arms action from Fire in the south. and maybe something along those lines from Degao in the north. But Secret have got a much more slow lineup. You know,
Yeah.
Chichi's not a fast civ. China, not a fast civ. It takes a little while for them to get going. I think we could see some early aggression from LoS, maybe even some forward strats with the pockets supporting, and that could work out really well for them here.
Well, I do feel like Slavs could be awkward as the flank. It's a strong civ all around. However, when you're versus Huns and it's Viper, Slavs, they ideally be going for a ranged unit as flanks normally do, and Slavs don't get Arbalest later on. So maybe this will be the side to focus on. Fire and Viper very experienced versus each other, former Tyrant teammates. So that will be fun to watch. Now, we didn't see Fire. We did see Riot last game, really. They just slung.
Yeah,
so
true.
For those that don't know these players, they are extremely good. And I was actually surprised that Miguel was the one receiving the sling. I thought that the sling would probably go to Riot. Miguel did well with it, though.
Yeah, and so in the south then, I mean, Fire, I don't like his map. You know, just looking at this now, his stone and gold is all pretty forward, which, you know, he's already started to wall it out with this house wall. It's going to be a little awkward if he loses forward ground. But Viper, on the other hand, he's actually dropping down a barracks right now, so I don't know if he scouted that and recognized that, or he was planning to do this all along. He actually doesn't have much scouting info of his opponent, but he's already decided that a barracks is the way, and 2 militia being queued out for him. Probably expecting the drush from Fire, even without scouting at this stage.
Yeah, and maybe that's the case. I'm really curious to see if the pockets will go for feudal age play, because the map's a bit more open. LoS is not walling up like they did the last game. They will slowly do so, but they will not be full walled by the time the 10 or 11 minute mark hits. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've just realized something else as well that's probably making an impact on this game, and that is the fact that we have cows, not sheep. Cows 150 food. So it kind of makes this early drush aggression a little bit more viable, and means that you're still going to have a lot of food as well to do feudal aggression if you want to, or if you can get walled up, a comfortable fast castle off the back. So I think that's something to consider, as players have a lot more food to play with in the early game before needing to transition to farms here.
Yep. Already there is a difference on that flank. I pointed out Fire and Viper. Fire's on the way to feudal age, while Viper has just gone for this dark age rush. So Fire's probably going for scouts. I don't see him going to gold yet, which would indicate archers. Viper, he'll probably wall behind this, and if he can fast castle into something like tab archers, that could be strong. But saying that, I could be wrong, actually. I think he might go like drush into archers.
Oh, but Fire here going to have to bail on that wood line. Might lose a villager even, but looks like Viper won't be able to catch her out, as she will get back to the TC in time. Now, it's interesting because neither player scouted each other. Viper didn't see anything from Fire before he started making the militia, and Fire didn't scout the barracks either. So actually quite poor scouting from both players. And Viper so far doing a little damage with this drush, but not finding too much just yet.
Yep. On the opposite flank, Jordan 23 will be going with some archers. And then it will be man-at-arms for Dogal into archers. So we're kind of correct on what would happen on that flank.
Yeah, the men-at-arms coming through now from Dogal.
And the wall's been stopped.
Yeah, it's
the wall's
open.
Been stopped.
Can he get there
Can
in
he
time?
get through?
I don't think no, he's not going to. Yeah, he will get through. He won't be able to wall that up. And ouch. Downhill attack onto that villager, and she is dead. As Jordan there will wall his wood line quickly.
She has probably signaled her allies there, said, hey, you need to wall up. I'm going to die. Just so you know, militia are on the way. And luckily, Jordan has seen that, I guess. Not the most ideal situation. Also, not the most ideal situation to be going for scouts as Teutons.
Oh.
Or archers, rather. I can't speak, apparently.
Sorry, Degao gets killed there on the scout. His men-at-arms now coming through toward the berries. And, well, you've got the double rangers coming down for Jordan. And, like you say, it's not ideal, is it? And he doesn't actually have enough vills on gold to really go full into archers if he can't add more in. He'll have to add some skirms as well. He can add a couple of archers, but will be limited there. Meanwhile, the drush from Viper does kill a villager in the south, but he took him a while to find any damage. And meanwhile, Riot has started his scouts production as well. And Fire seems to be okay for now. I think he's lost his scout and one villager going straight into archers here.
Jordan! The man-at-arms got in. Jordan didn't lose a villager, but all of his villagers need to run away. This is a sloppy start for both teams on the flanks. both aggression and sloppiness, I'd say, combined. Luckily, the man-at-arms will soon be picked off. I know that they have the high pierce armor, but Jordan does have the archers there. But both Fire and Jordan on the opposite flanks are having a tough time. I like Viper's position versus Fire because he's been able to wall. And he will have his own archers and skirms soon. And that's what that Drudge did for him. It bought him all that time.
Yeah, so now we have Jordan struggling to keep his archery ranges going, as he only has 4 on gold at the moment. And these men-at-arms just soaking up the damage. You know, they're not bothered. They are just posing a threat, keeping Jordan at home, while Miguel's actually going to go and hit the pocket. The scouts from Miguel coming in toward Doubt now. Doubt walled across the front, but open at the back. Has got a spearman. We'll see if he can do any damage here, but I don't think Miguel... Whoa, okay. Under the TC? I don't think so.
Luckily, he was able to split away from that. He does have Magyar scouts, so Doubt needs to be careful. Speaking of scouts from Doubt, Doubt has his scouts at Miguel's base. Miguel is outnumbered here, and Miguel will almost lose a scout there, so not bad from Doubt so far.
As well. You know, I just love Magyars for scout rushes in 1v1 as well. The spear gets a free extra attack, your scouts a free extra, it's perfect. Yeah. Especially when someone else against you is scout rushing as well. But Fire stabilized on the right. The scouts from Riot kept quite defensively for now, while Fire finds his footing. But he will have archers out, he will have fletching, and I think they might make a push together, although Viper might beat them to it, as he's coming in with Tato right now. Tato, quite a lot of scouts from him.
Whew. That's a lot of scouts, man. That's a lot of scouts. And Fire's coming forward. He thinks he'll be just versus Viper. Okay, luckily he sees his scouts closing in. He signals. But he can't really run away from this without letting the army in, so...
Okay, so here's the thing. Rhea is doing Bloodlines right now. Tato's doing +1 defense. I think that LoS, if they can keep Secret forward, they can get Bloodlines and take a good fight. But Tato's just done Bloodlines as well, so they're not really going to have a window of opportunity to do that, actually, in the end.
Yeah, playing it extremely safe. Both teams now. The armies will patrol in the south, and quick walls now from Miguel back at his base as Doubt showed up. And Doubt will not get any Vil picks, and things have slowed down a little bit, but they'll soon heat up again once the archer numbers mass.
So, at the moment, LoS have 8 kills and 7 deaths. So, it's... as the whole team. It's been a lot of action, but there's not been a lot of kills, and it's fairly even at the moment. Even if it did look a little bit good for Secret in the north, it was equally as good.
Jordan is losing archers. Zach, sorry to interrupt you, but this is important. Jordan, similar to Fire, ran forward without support from Doubt.
Yeah,
he lost. What is that? 4 archers, 5 archers. Ouch.
Jordan's had a rocky start this game.
He has.
Failing on the wall, the loss of his army there in the early feudal age, not so good for him. And I like that both flanks went for the archer scout combo. You know, it's the strongest combo in the feudal age. In the south now, a fight coming through. We've got Tato's scouts and Riot scouts. Tato has got the upgrade advantage on his scouts. The upgrade advantage for Viper is there for the archers as well, but it looks like they're a little outnumbered, actually. And if they can clean this up, that would be good, but they are working with a hill here as well. Secret should win this... Secret have the upgrade advantage, but LoS can win this fight, I think, if they can bait them off this hill, that is.
Yeah, they have more numbers, and Riot is soon going to hit Castle Age, so with that, he could send out some camels as well. I think Viper and Tato have gone too far here, so they need to trade as effectively as possible, and Viper and Tato, they have outstanding micro, so...
Yeah, well, that's why they're sitting on this hill, right? But +1 defense comes in for Riot. He'll run down the archers, and that's a bit uncharacteristic. Tato just leaving Viper for dead there.
And Dogal's at Doubt's base. So Doubt lost a villager on his wood line. Doubt doesn't have any momentum currently. I say that as Doubt hits Dogal. So, man, there's so much going on here in this game. What a game. One thing I need to say, Zach, before we continue with the Castle Age action, it was impressive from Riot and Fire to track Tato and Viper. Because Tato and Viper, they looped around Fire on the flank. And Fire had a patrolling spearman there, and he spotted that. If they didn't spot it, Riot would have lost everything at home.
That's really important. We got a little fight here with the scouts on the right side. Tato's got the upgrade advantage here, so we'll see if he can win it, because I think he's outnumbered in that one. It looks like it will actually go the way of Riot there on numbers, but well, yeah, I assume it will. But at this point, the scouts are going to start to become a little bit useless anyway, as the Castle Age comes in now. Quite a good victory for Riot there, actually. In fact, he still has enough scouts to do some solid damage with them as well, so keep an eye on them. They could certainly come into play a little bit later on, as Knights start to come out now from Miguel, and we're going to start seeing more upgrades coming through for the flank players as well soon.
Yeah, it's all about the Indian pockets now, in my opinion. Magyar Knights to get the free attack and whatnot, but Indians, they have such a strong boom behind the camel push. And Doubt is really needed now to help Jordan, because Jordan does not have army numbers. He's also playing as Teuton, so he doesn't have the best crossbows. And that's not an engagement he can take.
No, not at all. I mean, they might only be archers, but these camels, even with +3 defense, are going to be a little bit cautious of running straight into that. Maybe he could be a little bit more bold, but I think he just really doesn't want to risk losing any units here. He needs to get a solid number of camels up first.
LoS are in the lead.
Here we go.
It's a slight lead, but they are in the lead. And here come those camels. But this is...
That's a good
actually,
fight
this is quite good. This is quite good for Doubt, yeah, because Jordan has crossbow and Dogao is halfway to Castle Age.
Yeah, Dogao's quite far behind in that castle upgrade. In fact, he'll be the last one to get up by quite a way. He is going up with a lot of villagers, so he should be fine. But losing your army now is not the good time to lose it, because he's going to have to start from scratch with that archer production once he hits castle here.
You can see just how strong the Indian pockets are on both sides. Rhea and Doubt are score leading. They both have amazing upgrades and amazing numbers. Viper researched Thumb Ring, so he knew he needed numbers. He knew he needed firepower here to help out on this side. I like that a lot, because versus the Indian pocket, every little bit helps. Tato, he has +2 defense on his knights, but still it's nice versus Indian camels. It's all on Rhea and Doubt now for the teams to really push this in Castle Age, I feel.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, both flanks doing quite similar combinations here, but I think, you know, in the south, you've got Indians and Slavs versus Huns and Chinese.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of favor the Indians and Slavs there, I think. I mean, maybe, you know, if Viper gets up on good cavalry archer numbers, then that could really help them to pull through. But what I don't like is the Slavs having to commit so heavily to crossbow here.
Exactly.
They've got to make a transition away from this now, whereas the Hun player can keep making cav archers for, well, the rest of the game, and eventually transition into knights and paladin later on.
Oh, Viper loses a villager on his gold. His gate is going to go down in no time. Viper was just ready to go forward. He was not expecting this attack, and he does not have gold at the moment, Zach.
Yeah, completely pushed away, and his gold is forward there as well. And what's going on?
Miguel as well.
Oh, man.
Miguel also doesn't have gold. So this is interesting, as both groups of armies with Indians are having an advantage on both sides.
Yes, those Indian camels forcing the engagements, really, and you can see that as well with Doubt. I mean, it's interesting because obviously the Mag is having to go knights here. The camel combo should have the advantage, but they're outnumbered again, and they're in very deep. I'm a bit worried for Doubt and Jordan here in their position. They are spotted, they are being tracked, and if they're outnumbered, if they take a 3v2, then they are going to lose that, I think.
Yeah, Riot should expect this. He's not paying attention, obviously, loses 2 villagers, but as you said, he can send a few camels back of his own, and I think Jordan and Doubt will have to count on the next wave to do damage. They've gone in a bit too far there.
Yes, a lot of crossbows on the hill for Dogao as well, even upgrades on the crossbows, and well, you could argue even upgrades on the knights as well, and camels. So they are going to go in too deep, and if they keep an eye on them and catch this out, it's basically free kills for the LoS team. Sure, they are using their army at the back of their base and not sending it forward to do damage, but free kills are free kills, and if they can clean it up, that's going to be nice.
Speaking of which, we have 3 secret players about to engage Riot and Fire. So a 3v2 coming. Viper has the cav archers. He's getting all the upgrades for them now. And I guess both teams kind of getting caught out here, just that LoS have gotten caught out in the middle.
And they might just have to turn around and cut their losses here, because they are being picked away off that as they run. But this will be a massacre if they end up standing and fighting. Fire will actually do a decent job of stutter stepping and pushing out there, or getting out there. And this is interesting. These 6 or 7 crossbow coming in from the side, distracting the whole army, and actually allowing the main army to escape. So it was worth sacrificing 6 or 7 units than losing everything, and I think that was a good move.
Small update: after Jordan lost his crossbows, he began to sling Doubt. So he's slinging Doubt resources. That's why Doubt's on the way to Imp. And oh man, wait, hold on. I think Fire is slinging food to Riot as well. So similar reactions for both teams.
Yeah, Imperial Age will be a lot faster for Doubt here, though. Riot may be able to produce more camels, however. He does have an extra 16 camels on the field right now. So LoS have a power spike right now, and they need to use it. If they can get those Indian camels into the face of Viper's Cav Archers, they're going to be in a great position. But Imperial Age is coming for Doubt, and that is something that is going to turn this game around for Secret. Well, I say turn it around. I mean, they're already in a good position, but it will definitely make it very difficult for LoS to hold in that time period that Doubt gets Imp.
Fire's trying to sling gold. And look at the gold on the front that he cannot collect. Look at this fight. Viper has Mangonels. He has Cav Archers. There's Knights, Camels, everything.
Doubt's out of position. Doubt's on the left side with the Camels, but he's out of position. And I think LoS probably traded quite well there, but I think Viper has so many crossbows and Cav Archers that he's still picking off those Camels anyway. And in the end, LoS might be able to push through with the help of Dagao now sending crossbows back, but Doubt is Imp and Heavy Camel is on the way.
When I first saw Doubt was receiving Sling and Doubt had clicked up to Imp, I thought, okay, it's over. Secret will win. LoS, they had the correct response. They started slinging Riot. That's the engagement they needed, Zach. They just needed to chew down the numbers from Secret for a couple minutes and wait for Riot to get to the Imperial Age, because Miguel is also on the way to Imp as well. So that was good for them, considering how awkward it can be for Fire on the flank.
The KDs for Secret look reasonable, though. LoS, however, do take a quick score lead there, which indicate that they are trading a little better right now. Let's see if they can keep some kind of momentum going, but I think it's going to be hard because Doubt Imperial Camel will be on the way soon. Heavy Camel is done, and he's got a lot of them as well. 33 Heavy Camels, and those crossbows are out in the open. They are toast.
They're going to die. They're going to die.
To put it bluntly.
There's really no way that Fire can hold this. There's no way that Riot can hold this. In fact, Riot should just run. And we mentioned Chinese earlier. How would Chinese play out? Well, now Tata will go Chukunu. And Chukunu destroy camels in large numbers. So I'm really liking how this is playing out for Secret in Game 2.
Chukunu destroy everything in large numbers, to be honest. As long as they don't get hit by a Mangonel, they're good. But they're losing the front of Fire's base right now. And as we said earlier on, the gold at the front is all being denied. The 2 stones, unable to collect from them. And he's mined out of gold at the back. So Fire is in a big pickle at the moment. But on the north side, we've got Dagao Castle there. Miguel with a lot of knights. They will hold off against the camels for now. And Miguel is also Imp. He is going to be going for the Cavalier. So 2 LoS players in Imp. Only 1 at the moment for Secret. But Tato just hits Imp now, so they've just equalized that.
Oh, it's just so tough. Doubt already has Imperial Camel. Viper, he's going to stick with the same composition when he hits Imp, so there's no awkward transitional phase for him. While Fire's basically dying, and Miguel, he barely has any knights now, so I don't know if they can wait, or sorry, Dagao. I don't know if Dagao can get to Cavalier and Camel with Malians, because by the time he gets there, they'll be dead.
Absolutely. All right, my game stopped.
Yeah, mine as well.
Your game stopped as well? Okay.
It looks like it's a pause of some kind. Like it says waiting for other players.
Right, but can it pause? That's a strange one. What's going on?
Get an update from Robo. But while we have the time to talk about it, geez, what a play from Jordan to start slinging Doubt. Smart strategy decision. Both teams thought of it. Jordan, he just recognized his crossbows wouldn't be very useful earlier. And he's had quite a big sling. He's had 101 villagers. He's sending all those resources to Doubt. I don't know if there's any way back here. I mean, Heavy Camel just completed for Riot. He doesn't have the resources for Imperial Camel.
Yeah. Riot there just he's got a hold with the heavy camels, but Fire's losing so much.
Yep.
Degao, meanwhile, I mean, what is he gonna do? He's going imp now, but what does he have at the moment? What's his transition? What's his play once he gets there?
I think he's considering Gebettos because he has enough stone for another castle. Okay, that maybe the GG was called or something.
Yeah, let's figure that out. But yeah, the game has ended there. We'll figure out what's going on with that in just a second. But it's really clear to me that Fire there losing a huge amount, and I'm wondering if LoS actually had a way back into that game. I think maybe they could, but Secret looking super strong in this position now.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't know exactly what has happened here. In all honesty, I think the game was won already. I mean, Viper, he's about to hit Imp. He'd upgrade to Heavy Cav Archer. Doubt has Imperial Camel. I mean, they're so far ahead, Fire wouldn't be able to survive. So, I don't know what conversations are being had behind the scenes right now. I'll let you figure it out. But
yeah, no worries.
I do think that Secret were going to win that game pretty comfortably from this point forward.
Yeah, okay. We can see on the overlay there, Secret did actually win that game as well. So I think maybe the GGs were called right there.
Yeah, probably. Maybe we just caught or didn't catch the last minute. Great game, man. Great game. It was just crazy. In Feudal Age, those watching there, it's not easy to be that close in Feudal Age. There's so much that can go wrong. You can lose villagers, lose scouts, lose archers. I really think the recognition from Jordan and Doubt that Jordan couldn't contribute much on the field anyway, and that he should sling won them this game, because the decision was made by LoS to do the same, and it was just too late.
Yeah, absolutely. So game 3, Scandinavia will be coming up next. I don't know why we have SY versus VNA on the scoreboard either. We'll figure that out. We're using a new overlay system, and it's sometimes a little bit temperamental, but it looks like that's fixed it by refreshing, so we're all good there. Apologies for that, guys. But let me just figure out what's going on real quick here.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I can talk to the viewers. I mean, I'm pretty certain. I don't know exactly what's happening with the game, guys, but I'm pretty certain that game was over. Within the next minute, a GG would have likely been called. Was a great game, though. Was a great game. Game 3, which is coming up next, will be Scandinavia. And I'm even more excited for Scandinavia. I think Scandi and Cross have given us the best games so far in this team game tournament. Or a team game. I shouldn't say team game tournament. It's well, technically it's a team game tournament, but there's 1v1s, 2v2s,
yeah, of
3v3s,
course,
and 4v4s. Yeah. So, in game 1, Secret lose to the Sling. In game 2, they rely on the Sling at some point in Castle Age. The Tune Slavs pick was a bit weird. Like, Slavs, they don't have the best win record, honestly, in this 4v4 event. I think in 1v1s they're very strong, but the lack of Paladin possibly is an issue for them, and just how slow they are in team games. We didn't see any Teutonic Knights, guys. Also, in the first game, we didn't see any Teuton Towers with Turk Janissaries inside them shooting cannonballs. So,
absolutely. So, just a quick update. Apparently, Vubli is dropping Robo, and he can't stay connected. So there's an issue because he's hosting the game essentially. But I think what we could do is we can. I don't know what to do here really, because we can try and resume it, but we can't fast forward through. So we have to basically wait 40 minutes for that to go through to get to where we were. We could go to an individual room and fast forward it through. But that, yeah, I don't know if that works.
Well, I think probably the best option is just move on to game 3, right?
Yep, I think so too.
I mean, I think it's better for production of it, and maybe if LoS were to come back or something, then we'd need to go back in. But yeah, I think it's best to move on.
Okie doke. Let me just I've just got to handle a couple of things here, so give me a second.
That's cool, man.
I'm gonna give. We just need to figure out who's gonna host, because apparently I can't do it, according to Robo.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it, but then I'd be like a second or
Slightly
two behind.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So I don't know if T West is available, but if he is, then he could join the game room, and we can fix that.
Okay, that works. So thanks for bearing with us, guys. It's been a great day so far today. As a reminder for those just getting here, whoever wins this best of 5 will play today versus SY in the final of this event. Seeing lots of new faces, lots of people hyped in the chat. It's always good to see chat active. Also seeing lots of friendly faces. So what's up, guys?
Yes, lots of recognizable names in the chat there. All right, we're just gonna figure out who can do this, since Robo's having some.
What we could do is we could take a few minute break and put a small countdown up while we sort this out.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Because I got to grab some water anyway.
Okay, so all right.
I'll be.
So we'll be like 2 minutes, real quick here. Just
that's fine.
Fix things up. Give us a second. All right, guys, just going to shout out some more people here because we got some more bits coming in. Jubi Kibagami, thank you for the 200 bits. Legless Alex for the sub. Btax with the prime sub. Badrang with the sub. And Extinct Sanity for a tier 3 sub there as well. I appreciate that very much, guys. Legless Alex as well. Geez, coming in $100 tip right there. And he said, I showed Tristan/T90 some similar love. I'm just happy you guys are out there doing this for us. You're all awesome. Well, thank you so much, Legless Alex. We really appreciate that. And just so you're aware, that tip will be split among the admins and casters for their time, and you know, it will be split out fairly between them all. So we're just figuring out the best thing to do here, because basically, I'll run you down what happened. Robo dropped from the game. He's having an issue staying connected to Vubli right now, which meant that the game dropped for everyone. As a result, we cannot, well, we can resume it, but we have to wait 40 minutes to get back to the same point, so we have to recast it. What I propose we do, since the overlay showed you the result anyway, and Secret won that game anyway, we will recast the game at another point, maybe on individual channels. People will recast it individually. They can decide to fast forward through, or they can decide to play it from the start. But as you guys know the result, it is 1-1. We will just go through to game 3 rather than keeping you guys basically waiting for now. Basically, whatever we do, people aren't going to be happy with what we're doing, and we're deciding to take this route because we believe it's the best thing to do right now.
Yeah, there's not much that we can do about it. Trust me. Trust me. We did not want this to happen. It happened. We'll move forward, and we'll continue casting these amazing games, right?
Basically, yes. But we can obviously get the game recast on individual channels at another time. That is no problem.
Yep. All right, man. Well, it is now 1-1. The Secret ties it up, and we are going into game 3 shortly, which will be Scandinavia.
Absolutely. We're going to be going to Scandinavia next, and it's obviously all still to play for at 1-1 for both teams. We can tell Orderly to start the game already, and we can go in. I do not control the overlays, guys. The overlays are not controlled by me. They're controlled by the admins, so it's not... if something happens like this, then this is just unfortunate, right? We don't want this to happen.
Zach, do you need to be sorry to interrupt. Do you need to be a spec for this?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
it's
cool.
all good. Yeah. So obviously we're doing the best we can here. Thank you for your patience, and we're now going into game 3 between LoS and Team Secret. Joining me again, T90. It's shaping up to be a good series of games. It's 1-1, neither team getting themselves a significant advantage already, and it's a best of 5. So it's very even, it's all to play for, and Scandinavia has been one of the best maps we've seen in this map pool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed Scandinavia. Last time we saw it between SY and Vietnam Legends, it was a good one. And here we have LoS and Secret, and I will start with Secret, and I'll let you introduce LoS, Zach. At the flank yet again for Secret, on the right-hand side is Viper. He's playing as the Mayans. His pocket in the red is Jordan 23. Jordan 23 is playing as the Goths. We have Doubt. This is the second time I've seen Doubt with a weird protruding piece of land on Scandinavia. Anyway, he's playing as the Byzantines as pocket, and then his flank is Tato, who is playing as the Burmese.
Yes, absolutely. And these guys are in a good position to control the whole right side of the map. The team sort of are split from southwest to northeast, and that means that both teams will have their own backwater. On the left side, LoS Fire in the blue, playing as the Burmese on the flank. Pocket, Riot in the grey, playing as the Goths. Second pocket, Miguel in the green, playing as the Huns. And then to the north, in the teal, we have Dugao playing as the Berbers on the flank. And you know what, T90? I am amazed that we are all here today watching a 20-year-old game. And with 20 years of technological advancement, this game is still the same game it was in 1999, pretty much. So tech problems, they happen, and tech problems will always happen until, well, hopefully, maybe DE fixes some of these issues. But in the end, we're all still here, and we're here for some great games today.
Yeah, and to those watching this on YouTube and Twitch, thank you guys for being here. Seriously, Zach and I have been doing this for years. We never expected that this would be a possibility, and we're loving every minute of it, right? The level of play is higher than ever as well. I should point that out. Like 20 years ago, the level of play, no one would be watching that.
No.
So nowadays, the level of player is higher than ever. And I'm excited to see how this Scandi map plays out. For those that haven't seen Scandi before, the water element is always important. Both teams, they have water to the back of them. We saw sneak docks last time around with the SY Vietnam game. I don't know if that potential is all that great this time around.
Yeah, well, we'll see if a sneak dot can be pulled off. They have to sneak past enemy lines, and
Exactly.
already we're seeing a bit of a wall off from fire on the left side. But look at that, Tato sneaking through. I wonder if fire
Tato
saw
is
it.
sneaking through, yeah.
I wonder if he saw it, because he walked
I
over the foundation, so he was
exactly.
visible for a few seconds there.
Where's his scout at? His scout is actually accompanying his villager to the edge.
Yeah, there are
So
wolf. There is a wolf on the way, but there's only one, so he should be okay.
yeah, Tato's Ville will survive. However, he could be spotted. Huh.
Maybe, but he's through. And Fire thinks, hey, I'm safe. I walled it off. I did
Yeah.
it nice and early. There's no way he's going to send a villager through. He should be okay. And if he gets it up in the corner, they might not see it. They might patrol the shoreline, though, so you never know. Meanwhile, a sneak from LoS. Is there anything going on? I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't see it. I do see that Viper's Eagle has been disrupting Dogal a little bit on the flank.
Yeah.
But
And actually, Degal's
that's
had a
it.
really bad start. You see that house next to his TC?
Oof,
That's not
yeah.
a good house. Why did he build that? Because he was housed. A 15
Ooh.
population, he was housed heavily. And he had to rush that house. He did loom in the meantime. And basically, he's blocked his farms there. So he might delete that and rebuild it later on. But not a good start for Degao here so far.
Pretty solid start for Secret then, because Tato will have that sneak dock. Fire hasn't even scouted this, and he won't stop it. If Tato goes for a faster feudal, this could be huge. He could kill all of Fire's fish, and he could kill Riyadh's fish. He could go for everyone's fish, depending on how many fire galleys he can create. And for Secret now, I think you have to rely on Tato in early feudal age, and then the others, if they wall up, they might be able to boom a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, let's just take a quick brief look at the civs here. We do have Mayans, Byzantines, Goths, and Arambai, I want to say, for the Burmese.
Yeah.
It's a good combo. Obviously, the key difference here is that they're running Byzantines and Mayans, and the other teams running LoS are running Huns and Berbers. Byzantine fast imp is something to be afraid of, and I think we could see that coming through to work out really well for the Secret team here.
The wall off coming up for Viper, it will be denied by the Drush into man-at-arms for Dogal. So Viper sends one villager back. He sends another villager in. Can Viper wall this off? Because Dogal's looking to go aggressive. Viper wants none of it. He's still in the Dark Age.
Couple of gates and he'll do it, but it's quite a forward wall, isn't it, from the Secret, really. He could have walled back here, but he wants to get the gold, he wants the stone, and he is closing himself up towards his teammate Jordan, who right now is also pretty much closed up to doubt. There's actually a hole, but I think they'll figure that out sooner or later, and once Tato's closed off, they'll have the team wall up. But the militia are still there. Viper's villager, a little bit far from safety, but Jordan's scout is nearby, so it should be fine.
Yeah, the wolf is there as well. This will be funny.
no.
Will the wolf attack the militia or the
It's
villager?
the villager, surely. Yeah, of course it is.
Woo, woo, woo. Hey, I'm always a fan of that. No offense, Viper. So Viper's villager will probably die here. He could house trick it, actually. Or Jordan could help him.
Jordan
or
needs to block.
Jordan.
No! What is he doing? Block the wolf! Come on, man. He's trying to do it, but he doesn't get the palisades. And he's probably, like, flaming Jordan now. Like, why did you block me, man? Like, could have blocked the wolf, man.
Well,
That's
you know
what I
who
can
else?
hear.
You know who else is flaming? Fire is. That was unintentional. Fire is flaming on water. He's all of his fishing ships will be lost. Riyadh's fishing ships could be lost. He didn't know Tato had docked here. Oh my God! Tato just ran right past his fish.
No way.
Are you kidding?
The line of sight on these things isn't exactly great, is it?
And he's running past Riyadh's as
No
well.
way.
Oh my God! He could have killed
Why?
all the fish by now.
Why
he
would he
did
do
not
that?
see that.
Okay, why would Jordan not go along the shoreline rather than going out?
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Tato made a mistake there, but he'll still catch Riyadh out. Riyadh was going for a big fish
Jordan.
boom. Yeah, it's
Tato,
fine. Red,
sorry.
red,
Yeah.
orange, same thing. But okay, now Tato with the next batch catches Fire off guard. It's still very good, very, very good for
Yes.
Secret, but it could have killed them all by now, I think.
Meanwhile, Viper's under pressure. Dugal's pushing down on him with this watchtower and these man-at-arms. And I think this is the way to play versus the Viper. He definitely doesn't like being pressed this hard. And, you know, he's in wall mode right now. He's in defense mode. Dugal, can he really do enough damage, though? I'll tell you one thing, he's compromising the team wall. But
yeah.
Can he do enough damage with this aggression? I'm not so sure. Another watchtower comes up. Viper not losing too much just yet. Only one villager down, and we saw that die to the wolf earlier on.
Viper has a lot of experience with Fat Slob, so he should be able to wall this up himself, but I don't know. Miguel is here, and oh, there's a hole there. There's a hole.
There's always a hole.
Fat Slob would be disappointed, and Viper, who's thinking about placing a tower, has to run away from this. And Viper, the best player on Team Secret, is just falling apart. And the quick wall, the quick gate from Dogao, that's so sick.
The gates, man, they're having
Oh
so
my
much
God.
impact. Now, like, since we got rotatable gates, thanks user patch, they've seen so much use and so much good use as well. Viper's being doubled. There's 3 villagers going down in the wood line. There's another tower going up on the stone. And if you want to do one thing versus the Mayans, it's deny the stone.
Yeah.
Stop them even getting a castle. And oh my god, Viper's hemorrhaging units right now.
Unbelievable. What a start for LoS. Now, honestly, while Viper has fallen way behind, I think as a team, Secret are still a little bit stronger, and that's because of Tato's sneak dock. Look at the fishing ship difference on the overlay. Doubt has 14 fishing ships, Viper still has 8, and Jordan has 9. That is not the case for LoS, and that's going to hurt them.
Absolutely, and right now, I mean, the Secret team have a good score lead as well, and that score is the biggest indicator. What have you seen?
I just saw that Doubt sent 100 wood to Viper so he could build a lumber camp.
Oh, wow. And while you're doing that, I was trying to just change the overlay a little bit, put it on dark to make it easier to see. But man, look at Viper's eco. It's a mess. Those villagers running up to the top there, and wow, it's not efficient at all. And like I say, this is compromising the team wall, but Jordan is here coming through with some knights right now, and that should be enough to at least kill these villagers and get some revenge onto Dogao if Dogao doesn't get a quick wall off, but I don't think he will. He's actually gonna have to leave the house that he just built to get into the tower.
Is he housed now? It'd be hilarious if he's housed.
Oh god, is he housed? He's not housed.
That would be so funny if he built that and then got housed. But
oh man,
yeah, I just wonder if those vills will stay alive. He's mass stonewalling now, and oh wow, Jordan almost got through the wall from Dogao there. A diagonal wall. He killed 2 villagers.
He could have gone through, I think, if he wanted to, but maybe. I don't know, maybe not paying attention there enough, but in the end, it looks like Dogao's villagers will be cleaned up, and Dogao, he's got a reasonable villager count, but if he loses these 4 villagers in this tower, or 3 villagers in this tower, it's not going to be good, actually. He's going to be on the lowest villager count in the game at that point.
If Jordan sees this gap at Miguel's base next to the wood line, that could be trouble for Miguel. Jordan is just attacking the palisade wall, but you see that gap between the wood line?
Yep, I see it.
All those villagers, some of them are weak as well. All those villagers could go down.
Yes, I don't think he'll find it though. Oh, maybe he will actually, because Miguel is actually stonewalling Jordan here. So
yeah,
Jordan's gonna end up going. Oh no, there's a hole. Dude, there is literally always a hole. Miguel's losing villagers, whichever way you slice it. Those 3 villagers are dead. Gone to the wood line, gone to the gate. Doesn't matter. The villagers are dying.
LoS are falling apart now after a very strong start.
Yes.
Tato, he has 25 kills and 10 deaths on water. He's winning the water, or at least he's killed most of the fish.
Solid.
And now Dogao's taking losses and Miguel are taking losses.
He's killed every fish on the other side of the map. And meanwhile, you've got a big fish boom going on for Doubt. And it's actually just Doubt and Tato who are making a lot of fish. Viper's got some as well. But Tato didn't... Did I say Tato? I meant Jordan. Tato doesn't have any fish on their side, but he could. Never mind. He can't fish the other side. He's not won the water convincingly enough over there to do that.
And immediately after those losses, Dogao starts to sling Miguel. So just like in game 1, I'm sure this wasn't planned this time around, but Miguel is receiving sling, and he needs to get some knights going. He is Huns. It's a great civilization to sling. But I think he needs to do some damage because Secret have such a big fish boom now, and Viper has stabilized, and he'll be in Castle Age, has his stone back, and could go boomed archers.
Yeah, I like this push from Jordan as well, actually. You know, he's coming forward with Rams. He's building a monastery on the front as well, though it was delayed. He lost a Vil there. And he's just trying to ramp up the pressure here. He's also in on the gold. Yeah,
man. So much damage being done there, but look at Fire on the other side, bringing the heat, man. He was in
Ooh.
through one layer of stone walls, I assume, with petards there. He has the Aaron by. Tata's still in feudal, so these stone walls don't have all that much HP. Tato, who's been doing a great job on water, he doesn't have anything on land, and he's falling apart here.
Man, you know, rotatable gates has completely changed how players defend themselves. They
I know,
build
it's incredible.
they build a labyrinth every time, and it works quite well, but not well enough for Tato. As look at this, he's gonna lose another bunch of villagers here as they run back toward the TC. These Arambai might be incredibly inaccurate, but at close range they will hit everything, and these villagers are dying. So Viper off to a rough start, and then starts to stabilize, building the castle now, but now it's Tato's turn. He's losing villagers.
And that equalizes things, I think.
Absolutely.
And Tato, he's done enough on water, man, but he's dead on land, and Doubt is full boom. Tato!
Oh,
look
no.
at this!
He is so dead. Oh, no. Good to see the Arambai Civ just doing what they do, you know?
Yeah.
I introduced it as, and Fire is playing as the Arambai. He certainly is right now.
Pretty
but
much,
Jordan's going to try and do some return damage, but it's going to be tough, right? Miguel's getting the sling. He's going to be able to match Jordan on production. And, well, Viper's only just started Plumed Archers, so they're not going to have a big impact for a while yet.
Yeah, I really think Viper will be needed either with Jordan or with Doubt. Doubt has been forced into crossbow, which you can do as Byzantines, but I don't think he was planning on doing it so early. So
No.
Viper's plumes will, the mobility of the plumes, the range of the plumes will be greatly appreciated against the Arambai.
Yeah, well, I think the Arbalest is, crossbow into Arbalest is fine. You know, it's quite a quick power spike, especially with the fast imp that they get, but it's going to slow down a little bit. It's probably going to take away from their game plan a little bit here. But yeah, another castle drop from Fire on the left side. He's going to keep pushing this advantage onto Jordan. Onto Tato. I don't know why I keep calling him Jordan today.
At this point, if he says Jordan, he means Tato. Okay?
Yeah, basically just swap them over. I don't know what's going on. It's like
it's right, it
just gone
happens.
wrong in my head and I can't shake it. But yeah, we're seeing that down in the south looking pretty bad. I don't think Fire's going to do too much damage now to Doubt. Doubt does have enough crossbow up, and these Arambai, they're strong, but against a group of crossbow they're not going to perform too well in smaller numbers.
Fight on the right side. Dogal building 2 towers. This is right before Miguel gets all of his upgrades on his knights. He does have more than Jordan though, and there's not a lot of plumed archers for Viper, so I think Miguel will be able to hold this.
Will they? I mean, there's monks though as well, so they've got to be careful not to give any donos over to Jordan here. But the upgrades for Miguel are going to come through, and that should be enough to basically allow them this victory, or at least to hold this gold mine. Dogal gets the tower as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite close here, I think. Conversions can help. The healing from the monk can help. Viper has plumes with Bodkin. And I thought Miguel would do a little bit more when receiving the sling. This is good pressure from Viper and Jordan.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but, Miguel is fighting 2v1 here, but Viper's continuing to reinforce with more plumes. He will clean up the knights from Jordan, and that means the plumes will probably have to run away now as they are caught in the open. I think Miguel made good of that situation there and defended his teammate nicely. Dogal is safe for now, and that's what matters for LoS.
It's basically a 3v3 at the moment because Tato, he's out of the game. And Dogal is slinging. Wouldn't surprise me to see Tato start slinging now, because I don't see him getting back into the game anytime soon. Doubt and Riot will be in the Imperial Age. Doubt's about to hit, though, and that Byzantine power spike, as you said, Zach, it could work out for him to maybe push back the castle from Fire, or the castles from Fire, with trebuchets.
Meanwhile, from Fire, we also have a raid of Arambai into the heart of Jordan's base right now, and I do mean Jordan this time, as he forces Jordan to put all of those villagers in the TCs. But, I mean, it's a lot of damage, actually. No villagers, but a lot of eco damage there, just forcing them idle and not losing a single Arambai for it. That's a good trade. But, yeah, Doubt will be imp, but he'll have Arbalest, he'll have castles and Treb production. Fire might start to lose some ground here, and I'm worried for Fire in this situation.
Doubt is going for archers. Viper is going for archers. Riot is about to hit imp as Gots. Fire just lost most of his Arambai. But if Riot spams Huskarls, he destroys Viper and he destroys Doubt.
Yeah, and this is really good, actually, because Doubt now, making these trebs, he's going to be stalled by these castles. And if Fire loses the castles, Okay, you can't make as many Iron Buy, but it's kind of okay. I mean, the Burmese can always switch to other stuff. But the Goths now coming through with some Huskarls, it's going to buy them enough time to get the Huskarls up and actually probably push these Arbalest back, which I can't seem to find. Oh, no, there they are. They're in Jordan's base right now.
And just sitting there, and Fire, as you said, will repair the castle just to buy himself that time. And Miguel clicks up to the Imperial Age as well, and Jordan is just ahead of him. Jordan is also Goths for Secret, so he could go for Huskarls and Halbs too. But what a game we have here. Both Tato and Dogal on the back foot took some big losses after doing damage, one on land, one on water.
I do wonder though. I think the Goths is going to work better for LoS here, surely.
Yeah, at least at first, right?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Because you've got Plumes, you've got Arbs, and then the other Goth player comes into the game, and then what? I mean, he'll start making some Huskarls and some Halbs, but you're also going to then have Cavalier coming up for Miguel, so he doesn't want to make too many Huskarls. I think LoS are in an okay position, actually. Right now,
a little bit more mobility for them as well.
Yeah,
because they'll have the Paladin, they'll have the Huskarl, they'll have the Arambai, whereas Viper's really the only one with mobility for his team at the moment, until Jordan, of course, spams his infantry.
Yeah, we also now have Dogal going up to the Castle Age as well, and that means that he's not going to be sitting slinging for ages. He will eventually get up and start making some Camel Archers of his own. And I think the Camel Archers here, you know, they are the unique... it's a unique civ for LoS. I think they're going to make them work really well, because I think the Camel Archer is extremely strong right now.
It's just a matter of if Dogal can get to that stage.
Yeah.
Viper, he has a huge advantage over Dogal on that side, so Dogal will need some help from Miguel.
But here come the Huskarls, and they're going to go... It looks like they're going straight for Doubt, or they're going straight down the middle here. Doubt's got a lot of Arbalest out here, and these Huskarls are bearing down on them already. We'll see what they can do. Fully upgraded on the defense already, and look at that. Down to about half health after taking a huge amount of damage from Doubt, or a huge amount of arrows from Doubt, and Doubt just has to run back. But Cataphract coming out. He's actually done a Cataphract. Oh, baby.
I didn't think we'd see it, but I think Tato is slinging some resources to Doubt, and Doubt can afford it. In 1v1s, you rarely see Elite Cataphract because of the cost, but in team games, it's possible, and that changes things.
That does change things. It's a beauty. You know, I didn't think we'd see it either, to be honest. And it's kind of a niche unit in the sense that it's going to do great versus the Goths, but it's not going to perform so great versus Arambai, and it's not going to perform so great against Paladin. So he's invested quite a lot into that, and as a result, it might have slowed down their Goth player a little bit as well if those resources did come from Jordan here, and Jordan's now being pushed by Cavalier. So... I still think the LoS, if they group up here and they push as 3 with Cavalier, Arambai, and Elite Huskarls, I don't think that the Secret team have anything to deal with that.
Well, all Doubt really needs to do is hold his side, and he's doing well because Viper's pushing with Jordan against Dogal. So it's a 2v1. Yeah, we have Halberdiers as well. It was a really smart switch.
Yeah.
I thought that we would see Huskarls from Jordan. He went right into Halbs, so they talked about this, and it will be Halbs versus Paladin plus Plumed Archers once Viper arrives. But Rhea is there to help, Zach, and Huskarls can kill the Halberdiers. What a game we have here. This is awesome.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking right now at Jordan's economy, and, well, there's Cavalier in. And what is actually going to deal with the Cavalier right now? The Huskarls are raiding.
Look at Fire, man.
Oh,
Fire's also getting wrecked. He's losing TCs. He's losing villagers. Honestly, every economy is getting raided now. Even Doubt is getting hit by Huskarls, so what a wild game.
It's almost a bit of a base race that we've got going on here as well, you know? Like, Purple, Doubt pushing into Fire while his neighbor is getting absolutely wrecked back at home. These guys doing a lot of eco damage. It's hard to really say who's done the most here. As far as the scores are concerned, well, Secret still have the lead, but it's quite close.
But look at Riot spam on Doubt's side. Doubt has Cataphract, sure, but it'll soon be Paladin, Elite Huskarls, and Arambai. I think, I might be underestimating the strength of the Cataphracts, but I think that Doubt will lose his entire army here.
Maybe. There is a lot of units coming over.
Yeah, the Micro wasn't actually all that good from LoS.
And Doubt might actually get that castle up, which is unbelievable. Yeah. Paladin's now coming through, though, and they're going to try and turn this around with Paladin.
Yeah.
Where's Viper? Where are the plumes right now? I need to
They were
look at the
in
military
Doubt
map.
space. They
Oh,
were
I
in
see.
Doubt space.
Yeah, they're currently at Jordan right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's kind of Doubt versus the world, it feels, on this left side.
Yep. Viper did a great job. He was picking off the Cavalier because Doubt didn't have the mobility really.
And here
Oh
we
man,
go.
what an engagement, man. Paladins, Cataphracts, Halberdiers now joining from Jordan. The Arambai, they don't have the range, and every time Fire tries to run in, he gets chewed up.
Wow, and the Cataphracts have done quite well. You know, I wonder if he's got Logistica, because he's done really well in that engagement there.
He's done a hell of a job. 190 kills, 115 deaths. It's been all Doubt and Imperial.
Yeah. Now, I think the issue with the Arambai, like you say, they can't just run in against the Arbalest. The Huskarls never made it to the back lines. They never actually got to hit the Arbalest here. But this is still a win for LoS. They'll deny the castle on the front. And Tato, meanwhile, he's rebooming back into the game now. So, you know, he was really in a bad position earlier on, but he's now castle. He's now got TCs up, and he'll be entering the fray sooner or later. But is it going to be too late? Because these guys have got a very scary army of Paladins and Elite Arambai now turning their attention toward Doubt once again.
Yeah, and it's just full defense now for Secret. Not the first time we've said that in this series. They really need to be careful. The Paladins run in for Miguel, and he could pick off the trade that's starting to be added. But both teams, they're both doing that.
There's nothing better than killing fledgling trade. It really feels good when you kill those trade carts before they even make the first journey.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh, yes. That's value.
You know, Dogal's also rebooming. He's reboomed better than Tato has. He has more villagers, and he has a castle, so he could soon join the fights with those heavy, or not heavy camels, sorry, camel archers.
And you know what, as well? The actual villager counts across the board looking better for LoS right now, after Secret did take quite a bit of raiding damage. Now, these Cataphracts, it's interesting because they are so expensive, and they won't win versus the Paladin. Of course, the Goth player is still making Hussars.
It's
But
alright, it's alright.
he's fighting them against the archers and not versus these Cataphract.
And the Huskarls are so cheap as well. It's okay to lose a few, right?
For sure, right?
You rarely have a positive KD with Goths. And Doubt has just been chasing the Paladins in the trade. Miguel killed about a dozen trade carts. So both teams adding trade now, and Secret just trying to secure their base. They can't seem to do so.
Look at Miguel's KD as well. He is doing so much work for his team right now. You know, I think Miguel is such an underrated player. Maybe he's not by some, but I think he's genuinely so valuable to the teams that he plays on. Back in Nations Cup, he was always doing amazing games. He was always leading his team, and he's doing it here as well. Not only in this game, but in the Acropolis game that we saw earlier on. What a player, man. He's making the damage right now.
And he says he's not good as well. I talked to him about it. I tell him he's very good. He's like, no, I'm not good.
He's
like,
too
come
humble.
on, man. Come on. He's all over Doubt. He's all over Tato right now.
Look at this.
This guy is playing out of his mind, and now Doubt is losing those castles he built earlier to the Trebs from Fire, and Fire has Elite Arambai as a huge all of them.
And look at Viper coming over here with the plumes. He's on the other side of the map. And
all Imperial he's been chasing for his team. He hasn't done anything offensively.
Yeah, and I think this actually opens up an opportunity for them to do damage on the right side now, because Dogal's about to go in. And once Dogal gets in, the Camel Archers are coming out, and Viper's got his army on the other side of the world at the moment.
Yeah, this is looking bad for Secret. It is looking really bad. Riot, he's still spamming the Huskarls towards Viper's plumes. And Doubt is losing the castles, which he needs to kill those Huskarls. Or he needs the castles to create the Cataphracts, which kill the Huskarls.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. The Elite Arambai here, how are they performing versus the Plumed Archer? I can't help but feel the Plumed Archer's going to trade more cost effectively, but they might end up losing the battle. It's hard to say, right?
I think that having Elite Huskarl and Arambai is better than having Plumes and Cataphracts, though.
Definitely.
As long as the Elite Huskarls are in front, this is a good fight for LoS, and they continue to push in. They cannot be stopped here.
I tell you, though, the gates from Tato are actually starting to trip them up a little bit, making it kind of tricky to get in here and find a good angle onto this army. The gate's kind of blocking. Maybe they should try and take the gates down with the trebs, and I think they will do that. But these guys right here, even if they just hold right now against Viper, the north side's going to start getting dicey, because look at this. Miguel raiding with paladins up in the north. Viper's having to bring the villagers back to the TCs. Now we've got elite camel archers from Dogao starting to back up the paladins, and LoS are looking unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one good statistic for them. I am not seeing one good position for them. And Tato's old base will soon be destroyed. He still has villagers here. He's just reboomed, trying to go elephants, but he can't afford to get to elite battle elephant.
Yeah. Man, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Wow. When
you lose or you die in feudal, you reboom, and then just as you get to imp, you get wrecked again.
Yeah, that's like, too relatable. That's too relatable.
I know. You know, it's like they knock you to your knees, you get back to your feet, and as soon as you stood up, you get slammed into the ground again. It's like, stay down.
Yeah, well, we're about to be witnesses of that. Miguel and Dogao arrive with their large armies.
Oh,
and this is not something that Viper or Doubt can deal with, and the trade is right there. I think this is the GG push, Zach.
It is. I mean, this is an unstoppable push. Elite Camel Archers, Elite Aranbite, Paladins on the front lines, and Huskarls mixed in. That is one heck of a combo right there. And these guys have the tankiness, they have the firepower. And, well, I mean, Secret are just going to crumble under that. And if there's Aranbite, or better still, the Camel Archers make it to the trade line, well, you can say goodbye to the trade. It's all going down.
Yeah, and on the front of Jordan's base, he's still losing buildings. When you get a moment, look at Viper's... Oh, not Viper, I'm sorry. Look at Jordan and Doubt's economy. There's just dead bodies everywhere from the Huskarls earlier.
Yeah.
And the trade's going down now as well. And would not surprise me to see Secret call the GG soon. And Tato too late with the Elite Battle Elephant.
Yeah, they are fighters. I mean, they do usually fight till the last minute, but looking at it from our perspective right now, it really does look like it's over for them. The scores are still... no, they're not that close. There's about a 2k score difference on average, and, you know, Tato losing too much right now. I'm wondering what they're thinking at the moment. What's going through their minds as they think, okay, how do we bring this back? Because if they thought if it was over, they'd call GG, right?
Yeah. Well, they want to see how the elephants will do. Did Tato cancel Elite? Oh, no. He has Elite Battle Elephant completed now. But the elephants are too slow. The Camel Archers and Aranbite could just run away from it and still pick off the trade. And
well, the Aranbite kill elephants anyway.
Yeah, and Jordan's getting destroyed, right?
Yes.
Siege rams are on him. Miguel, again with Paladins grouped around Viper's plumes. He's been everywhere.
Oh, and the trade raid in the back of Jordan's base as well, killing everything. And that's when they realize it is done. The penny's dropped, and Secret have called GG. LoS take game 1. Secret take game 2, and LoS strike back, winning in game 3.
What a series, man. And what a game, honestly. You know, Tato's sneak dock, I thought was going to be the game-winning move. He killed 25 fishing ships, I believe. And I thought the sacrifice was worth it. But Fire came back. He built the castles. He pushed through Tato's walls. He killed him. And while Dogao was pressured early on as well, Dogao was able to get back into the game after the sling. And I think that's what it came down to, just the flanks. What a game, man. I didn't know how to call that one throughout. I thought Secret had the lead, LoS had the lead. It went back and forth, and that's been the best game of the series.
Yeah, that was a really good game from what we've seen so far. And seriously, Scandinavia is just time and time again delivered amazing games. And what I've really enjoyed about these series so far is that we haven't had complete mirrors. Game number 1, both teams had completely different civs. Game 2, there was a bit more mirrored, but 2 civs were different. And in game 3, 2 civs were different as well for both teams. And it just goes to show that, you know, teams going into this with a strategy, with a game plan, and they're executing it, and LoS are making it work.
Yeah, I think it all came down to Viper not being able to get plumes early, because plumes do beat Camel Archers. It was Dogao as Berbers and Viper as Mayans. But that early pressure on Viper really slowed down his push. So when Viper finally got the plumes, where were they? They were in his ally's base, just patrolling around trying to clean up. He was playing the team janitor when he needed to be spearheading the attack.
Absolutely. You definitely want the Mayan player to be the, we saw it in the last series with
Yeah.
SY versus VNA. The Mayan player is the guy who goes forward, puts those castles in a strong position, and then fortifies it and leads to charge. But because of that early aggression from Degao, which I think was so instrumental in that game, setting Viper back by quite a way, delaying him to the castle age, delaying his plumes, making it much harder for Secret to find their footing across the map. So well played to LoS, a 2-1 lead for them right now. And we're going to be going into game number 4 in just a few moments. We'll take a quick 1-minute break here, if that's okay with you, and we'll come back out and go into game 4 in just a sec.
Can I say one thing before we take the break?
Go ahead.
Miguel had 640 kills and 231 deaths. He is an insane player.
What a beast. Yeah, man. That is just an insane KD. And it's fair to say that Miguel there played out of his mind. Looks like our scoreboard may be broken. Let me see if we can fix that.
It's fine, man.
We got
it's
it.
fine.
We got it.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it. All right, we'll be back in a minute, guys, with the 4th game. I'm just going to take a very short break here. We'll be right back. Okay, so Baltic coming up next, and it's worth noting right now that this is actually match point. If LoS win this, then they're actually going to beat Secret 3-1, and Secret will end up knocked out and finishing in joint 3rd place here. Interesting situation. It was 1-0 to LoS, 1-1, 2-1 to LoS. Can Secret bounce back? They have to if they want a chance to make it to the finals here.
It's also worth noting that in big tournaments, the home maps were frequently water maps for Secret players. Especially in 1v1s, Viper, when he had the option, he would not choose Arabia. He would not choose a lands map. He would always choose islands or some water map. Now, this was back in the AOC days, right? When the meta was different. I still think that you have to give the edge to the Secret players when it comes to water. They're really good.
Well, who is one of the best water players in the world? It's Fire.
Yeah.
He's
That's
playing
true
for
as well.
LoS.
That's true as well. He's the master of islands, right?
He is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the metagame's definitely in a different place right now to the good old days when it was just galleys, and hey, some more galleys. What a surprise. But nowadays, yeah, things are a little different. And well, we'll see what they can do. Obviously, Baltic is one of those maps where water comes first, but land aggression, land sort of attempts can actually swing the game, can win the game. And we did see that in, it was Finland last week. Can't remember. Was it, who were they against? I think it was SY actually, wasn't it?
SY, it was SY, yep.
They played Baltic there. Finland tried something on the land. They actually did a pretty good job, but that game I think was almost won on the land rather than the water.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. I think if Italians play, there would be a lot of focus on the Italians player, the Italians and Vikings player, because Italians can not only fight on water well, but if they get that water advantage like we saw from Yo earlier in the earlier set,
Mm.
they can transport condos. And that's probably the easiest thing to transport into because it's strong and you get the tech for free.
Yes, I actually made a video about condos, and it is crazy just how good that unit is when you put it into context of the Italian Civ.
Yeah.
I refer to it as canned lightning. You get cheaper age ups, you get to the next stage faster, you drop down a barracks, you don't need any techs, you just go. And they are so good at just landing and raiding without any chance for your opponents to even scout it or react to it.
Yep. So game should be beginning in a few seconds.
14's.
Yeah, 14's in the chat. One more thing I want to point out, guys. LoS, as I said, is an underrated clan. Many people might know them. Many people might not. They deserved the wins for Secret. Secret did not really make mistakes. It was just that LoS outplayed them. There's a very big difference. Do not confuse the two.
Oh, people always make that mistake, though.
It's the problem though, like with any big sports team, right?
Yeah.
If Real Madrid loses, it's not the other team outplayed Real Madrid.
Oh no, Real
Madrid
just had a bad day.
It is Real Madrid had a bad day,
Exactly.
So with Secret, when Secret loses, I'm just trying to get people to give credit to the people that beat them, because more often than not, it is that they were actually outplayed. But here we are, Zach, take it away.
For sure. We're into game 4, LoS versus Secret here. Match point. If LoS take this, they will go to the grand finals to face SY. Secret need to bounce back here and get themselves a victory if they want to make it to the final. Otherwise, they will be knocked out. But man, oh man. I mean, we're on Baltic right now. Normally, I'd start by introducing the players, talking about that. But look at this map. This lake. What is going on?
What is that? Normally, I have Dave, and he can tell you right away what it looks like. We had a camel lake a few days ago. I'm not creative enough.
Well,
Zach, I don't know if you're creative enough to say what that is.
I had, it's a ghastly, by the way, but I actually had a game the other day where Doubt actually had an island that was shaped like a fish. And I'm not even kidding. It actually was a fish. It was amazing.
Baltic has been delivering some interesting map generations recently. I'll start with Secret here, and then we could talk about the Civs, because I really want to talk about the Vikings Italians, especially for Secret, who need a result here. Otherwise, they're crashing out of the semifinals. We have Doubt as the flank. He's playing as the Italians. Right next to him as pocket is Viper. Viper is playing as the Vikings. In the red, we have Jordan 23. He's playing as the Portuguese. And in the orange, we have Tato. Not Jordan, Zach. And he's playing as the Japs.
He is. And these guys are next door neighbors, so it's going to be even more confusing here. But let's see how that goes. So, no surprises there on the Civs. You know, we're seeing pretty typical Civ selection. And across on the other side of the lake, on the north, we've got Riot in the grey playing as the Portuguese. Degao playing in the teal as the Malay. And that's the difference there. They've got Malay and not the Japanese. And then in the other pocket, there's Fire playing as the Vikings in blue. And then on the right side, there's Miguel playing as the Italians in green. So it's a very similar setup to what we had with SY versus VNA in the other semi-final. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the team that had the Malay that won that game. Though I don't think it was because of the Malay that they won it.
Yeah, a couple things to point out here. I was saying before this match started just how good Viper was in classic AOC Water, and you mentioned that Fire was the previous Masters of Islands in the old balance. Well, they've both chosen Vikings, so no Fires from them. We will get to see the Galleys. We will get to see the Micro, so look out for that.
Fire is not making fires?
I know.
What is this blasphemy?
Yeah. What is he smoking, right?
It's unbelievable take. But yeah, Vikings, of course, such a great team bonus. Cheaper docks for everyone. You can't do without them in a team game, but they can very much be forgotten in a 1v1 water. However, I mean, I want to bring the attention back to the map, because although we said, okay, it's a weird shape and all this, more importantly, I think, is the positioning of the town centers relative to the lake. Now, it's a double-edged sword. The Secret guys have to travel a lot further to get to the lake, which means they'll have a lot more time walking, might have misjudged the timing for the second or third docks. But they also have a lot more space to build, and if they win the water, they could potentially do a lot more damage from the water against LoS, who don't have much space to build.
Yeah, I think if LOS lose water, they cannot trade really. They can maybe in the right corner to the northern corner, but it's awkward, as you said, because of the
Yeah.
lack of access to resources and just space in general. Uh, this actually was exactly what happened with SY and Vietnam earlier, and SY ended up winning water despite not. Oh, actually, they were the team that had more space in that game. Down
Right.
clicks up the feudal
Yes.
age,
Okay.
and he's right next to Miguel.
Yeah.
They are sharing fish at the moment, so for now they're friends.
They're both Italians as well, so they're pretty close together here.
Yep.
One thing I noticed on this left side, however, is that Riot is, you look at his dock, right? It's similar to last game, last Baltic game. A bit further along this this tendril, you've got Tato, and Tato is going to be up to feudal a little faster than Riot, so potential for damage there onto Riot from Tato on that left side.
Yeah, Tato can't really escape that area at any point.
No.
So I guess on one hand, Riot doesn't have as much fish, but he can also flee to an ally with his fishing ships or his navy.
True.
Tato, he can't. So this puts pressure on the pockets yet again, Viper and Jordan, to help Tato out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to come over, send some reinforcements, send some support. We'll see how things develop on this right side. They built the docks across from each other. They're going to keep that theme and build the second docks across from each other as well. Maybe even the third. Who knows?
Yep.
I'm not sure if we're looking into a mirror here or not, but it's looking pretty close for both of these guys. Down a fraction of a second faster to feudal. And if you're in either of these guys' position right now, you know how important water is on this map. You're probably feeling a lot of pressure to perform.
Yeah, and you're also telling your allies, there's no way my fish survive.
Yeah.
Because you cannot fish here. You're so close to enemy fires. The fishing ships will probably go down for both Doubt and Miguel.
Probably. Well, I mean, they are so close together that it's almost inevitable that will happen. But you've got Viper in pocket playing Vikings there, Fire in pocket playing Vikings. So it's going to be galleys coming over from both of their teammates, actually. So we're going to see on the right side the galley and fire ship combination here.
Well, maybe. Viper's still on his way to feudal age. He's gone for more of a fast castle build.
Oh, you're right.
So Viper will not go for feudal age galleys. He could go for longboats maybe. So a difference in styles there. I like it. I mean, I like it because it's different. I do think it's risky for Viper to do that.
They sacrificed the early game, but the lake is big enough. You know, you can have your lake and you can fish it. You can definitely get away with a fast castle here, I think. And although it will leave Secret with less presence on the early game, in the early game water, they could bounce back pretty strong with Viking longboats in the castle age here.
Jordan has started with galleys and not fires for Secret as well. So this is very, very different than what we expected here. And I'd say that the engagements have been good for Secret so far. Tato hasn't lost any fish yet. He forced Riot to run away with his fish. And this is buying Jordan time to mass those galleys.
Tato did lose Villager on his woodline there to Degau's scout, which is now going to get walled in and beaten to death. So, yeah, it was still worth it for Degau, I'd say. But in the end, these guys, yeah, I mean, they might end up getting outnumbered for now on the water. We should see Fire coming over with some galleys pretty soon, and that should help them to do damage, and maybe Viper will lose his fish. The concern here really is Viper doing this fast castle is very greedy. He could be denied the docks if Fire gets over here pronto.
Well, Miguel did deny that one dock already, so Viper with a waste of wood, and Viper's lost all of his fish, and I really don't like the strat. I am curious to see how Viper would do with his micro with the longboats, but they're giving up full water here, and generally I'm not a fan of giving up any type of map control in Age of Empires 2.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it does work, though. I mean, think about the Aztecs, for example, right? You could wall up as the Aztecs, go in, and then spam Eagles and just take it right back anyway. The question is, can they do that here? Fire's going to deny the third dock, I think, with these galleys.
Oh, that's so big, man. That's so huge. That's the second dock that's been denied. Viper deleted the one, so he lost out on wood there. This one was 73% of the way up, and he had to delete that one as well. So great recognition from Fire and Miguel to get there, because they know what Viper's strategy will be.
And now they are in the, or now Viper, sorry, is in the Castle Age. He's lost a Vil, he's lost a dock, and he's sending another Vil over to try and build one. Can the comeback happen with the longboats? Can they do it? Now the longboats are strong, and with Bodkin Arrow, they can take down the fire galleys really effectively. But can he do enough damage when he's outnumbered? Because, you know, when you're outnumbered so heavily, it doesn't matter if you've got the stronger unit. The numbers end up winning in the end.
Yeah, and to get numbers, you need docks. Viper's villager is trying to build a dock on the left-hand side, closer to Jordan now, which will only be his third dock, and he should get that up. The massive longboats will begin, and no one for LoS has clicked up to the Castle Age yet, so Viper has some time.
Yeah, and the nice thing about longboats as well is they do train faster, so he's got that going for him. And in fact, Viper's actually out of gold. He's struggling for gold at the moment. So we'll see if he can actually get enough longboats out to make a difference here right now before the Castle Age does start to come through for the LoS players. But if you're in LoS's shoes right now, what do you do? Do you back up? Do you, you know, where do you go? Where do you hide? I don't think you can really, can you?
Yeah, you have to back up. Dogal is on the way to Castle Age. You know, at first I questioned this, but this is actually looking quite good.
Yeah.
Because Viper, look at his micro here. Viper's also adding eco at home with extra town centers, so he'll have a huge advantage in both eco and military. And look at the fight he's taking versus Fire. Look at the fight he's already taken versus Miguel. These longboats are strong, man.
That's absolutely true, and he doesn't have that many of them, but Doubt has quite a lot of fires right now as well.
Yep.
And when you look at Miguel with only 4 fires, it's safe to say Doubt won his flank. And, sorry, 4 military, I don't know if they're all fires, but it's safe to say he won the flank. And that's definitely giving Secret the edge right now, as Viper's longboats just kind of add a little spice into the mix.
Yeah, it's interesting that Viper has chosen to go without ballistics. He went for the town center instead. So again, more of that safe approach where they've gone for more economy instead of more military upgrades. But I think it's because of the mobility the longboats have right now. You can chase down any units that are running away from you. So good decision.
Yeah, they're super fast. On the left side, Tazo does lose his fish as Riot comes in and hunts them down. Riot still has 2 fish alive, and in fact, right now, LoS do have 2 more fish in total than Secret. Most players did end up losing their fish over the course of the Feudal Age. Castle Age coming in now for more and more players, but it will be Dogal first to castle for his team. War Galley comes through, but he is the one who's outnumbered now. The longboats, the fire galley is bearing down upon him, and he has to run away.
Viper has 11 kills and 7 deaths. I think that will only get better.
Oh yeah.
He's doing a great job.
Pincer onto Dogal. That's going to find him some more kills as well. And I guess you just can't escape from the longboats, can you? They're everywhere. Yeah. And even Jordan here is coming in to fight. Fire. War Galley is about to complete, but he might be going in a little bit too soon, maybe? Nah, he's okay. Tyrant, Secret backing off.
And small update here. Miguel is slinging fire resources.
Interesting.
So after Miguel lost on water, he's now slinging resources to fire. Also, Fire's getting ballistics, and Viper went without that. Viper has a lot more villagers, but I think ballistics is an upgrade he'll need soon.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe Doubt will... Oh, no, never mind. He's going castle. I was thinking maybe, you know, Doubt could sling as well. But to be honest, I'd rather get the Italian Zimp, and then you can try and just do the landing with the condos here. So yeah, no sling going on for Secret at the moment. Doubt's going to play the tank with the careening and war galley tech coming in for his fire ships. And we'll see the sling from Fire, now, or to Fire, doing... Well, a reasonable amount, I'd say. He's got the largest military by a landslide. 40 military. That's twice anyone on Secret's team.
Yeah, and maybe this comes into play because he could make the galleys and upgrade them, right? Viper could not make mini longboats in Feudal Age. Oh, what a fight here. Caravels from Riot, war galleys from Fire, war galleys from Dogal. Will the meat shield of Doubt's fire ships be enough here for Secret?
Now that's a water fight right there. I do wonder, you know, Fire's attacking the dock with a few of his ships, but the fire ships have been eaten up, and Fire's war galley is now continuing to reinforce. You've got Riot with some caravels as well on the north side. It does look good for LoS as Viper's numbers of longboats dropping quite quickly here. The numbers still fairly solid for LoS, but of course the reinforcement advantage is for Team Secret at the moment, as they are fighting closer to their docks, but do have to fall back and retreat.
But reinforcements are not easy when your docks are to the right of this. So Viper's docks are now garrisoned. He can't really reinforce this if Fire continues to push in with Dogao. What a fight from Fire. Unreal.
Really nice. I love that the Portuguese players are going for caravels as well. It's not a unit you see a whole lot of, because you don't see Portuguese on water outside of team games very often. But these are pretty good, actually, against fire ships as well. I'm not sure about the value of them versus war galleys, though. I guess it depends how bunched up they are, because they act a bit like scorpions, right, with the projectile there.
Yeah, I think Viper traded pretty well versus them. It's just that he didn't have the numbers of Fire. Longboats are better than galleys, but you need to have the numbers, and Viper's just losing numbers. And I should point out that Miguel's on the way to castle now, so it hasn't been a full-on sling. It was just a little boost for Fire. And also, Riot is full booming, so at least I don't think he's... Oh, no, he's making war galleys now as well. For a second, he wasn't creating. I thought he had abandoned water.
Okay, yeah, no, I thought so as well, actually. Now, I'm looking at Tato, and I'm wondering, actually, what's the game plan here? He's doing a university now. He's got a monastery. It looks like he's going to go imp in a minute. But then what does he follow through with?
He could push on land or go for Imperial Age water. Those are really his only two options here. And Fires is on his way to the Imperial Age for LoS. Oh, man, that's going to be a huge advantage.
But where is he right now? Oh, he's over there. It's blue on blue. Kind of hard to see on the minimap.
Yep.
But they are backing up. They are giving Secret some space here. And I think that's probably because they're a little bit cautious of the additional fire ships coming in from down. But I'm worried now for Riot, because Riot's going to get caught out on the left side and lose everything. I don't think there's any way about that. He's going to lose it all.
Yeah, he needs to run. Honestly, he's probably the least important person on water for his team at the moment. It's kind of good that Dogao and Fire aren't getting hit. So I think LOS will take that. I'm still looking at Tato, just trying to analyze what he'll go for here.
Docks.
Okay, he's now adding the docks. I was literally going to say he doesn't have any docks.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he didn't until now.
Yeah.
So, he's rushing them up on the left side. He actually needs houses, He's actually going to get housed if he doesn't plop down a bunch of houses real quick. Kind of funny. But he's doing war galley. He's actually going to do fires by the looks of things as well.
Speaking of Fire, he has 47 military, but Viper's catching up. Viper's at 33.
Yep.
And considering the war galleys are better, or sorry, they're not better. The longboats are better than war galleys. That's why Secret currently has the score lead. Viper will not have the Imperial Age technology, though. That's going to be the biggest difference.
Yeah, Fire's going to have Galleons soon, and then they're hoping to clean it with that. They're just kind of hanging out in the corner here, hoping to get as much time as possible for Galleon, and I think they'll get enough time, actually. Galleon and Bracer, quite quick researchers, and by the time they take the fight, they should have it up. Now, Malay, this is interesting. Malay, Thalassocracy, Harbors could be on the cards here for Dogao, but right now it's going to be all about this. The fight shaping up on the left side. We've got war galleys and caravels from Riot, war galleys from Dogao, and then Fire with the big galleons coming up the rear. And honestly, they better run, because Secret, if they get caught out here, they're going to lose everything.
Who they need is Tato. They need Tato to get his fast fire ships in the fight. His docks are on the other side of the lake here. It's going to take some time to arrive, but when he does arrive, I think they're forced to fight. Otherwise, they'll lose all of their water. Doubt's on the way to Imp, and he has a ton of fire ships as well, but he's not in the... He's not really all that close to Imp. Can Secret hold on here? There's been interesting stages where one team has to go back, and then one team is then forced to wait for more upgrades.
But that's quite similar in 1v1 as well, actually.
Correct.
One player pushes forward, then they lose the defender's advantage, and then they get pushed back, and then it flip-flops, back and forth. But now it's going to be all about the LOS team keeping that massive units together and keeping the production going. At the moment, it seems like no attempt at any kind of landing is happening here. It's all out water naval warfare for the time being.
Jordan and Viper are also holding out for Imp. Riot is right behind them with that. Are they forced to fight, Secret? It feels like they're almost forced to take an engagement.
backed.
Otherwise, Viper will lose all of his docks.
Yeah, they're backed in right now, but they are going to have the support of Tato coming over. We've got Riot making some demos now because of the fire ships added into the mix. And, well, they're actually going to be backing up. And I'm wondering if this is the right play from LoS, because I guess they've only got War Galleys on Degao right now. But still, Jordan and Viper not Imperial yet. And I can see Elite Longboat from Fire.
It's just the whole water triangle is being used by Secret. It's perfect. You have fires on front, you have caravels, you have longboats. The only thing we're not seeing a lot of because they don't need them is demos. And now a longboat switch for fire. So he will have elite longboat. What a game.
Yep, it's coming through. It's about to hit. But, oh, this is not a good fight. If Degao keeps going back, Degao needs to come in. A really good concave from the Secret team. But again, Jordan was out of position there. Doubt wasn't up in front. So there's a real back and forth going on here as these guys are jostling for position. And I'm wondering how effective these fires from Tato are going to be honest. Because right now, I don't think he's got enough. In fact, I think he's going to make some kind of play for the land fairly soon.
Yeah, there's potential for that on both sides now because players are close together, especially on the right where players can transport. But back to the water for a second, Doubt does have a lot of fast fires. I do think fires in general will be less effective because of Fire's longboats. Longboats are so good at chewing up the fire ships.
Yep, exactly. And for those wondering why that is, because you look at the longboat stats and you look at the galleon stats and what's changed, the difference really is the fact that they fire multiple arrows, so they're able to do a lot more brute force damage versus the fire ships, since each arrow has to do a minimum of 1 damage.
4 people on water for Secret. It is still 3 for LoS because Miguel has been sending resources every now and then to fire. Will he go land soon against Doubt? That could be an option.
He's still castle over here on the right, but here we go on the water now. Oh no, Degao. Don't get caught out like this. Galleon's about to come in for him. And
that's bad.
Neither team wants to commit here.
That is bad for Dogao. He just lost 10 to 15 galleons as he's getting the upgrades. It's really all on fire now because Riot doesn't have the numbers. The Secret just has so much navy.
Yeah, this
and
is
Tato's
huge.
pushing on land. Tato is pushing on land with castles, barracks now.
Yeah, but here's the water fight. This is what we've been waiting for all this time. Both teams now ready to commit. And, you know, I did want to take my eyes off this because we didn't want to miss this. This is what we're here for. Doubt, though, coming up in the front lines a little bit late. It's hard to say who's got it. Looks like Viper might have a lot more longboats on the field. His military count much higher than Fire's right now. But you've also got the addition of Degao and Riot on this left side. And it's going to be Secret who are buckling.
Secret, go back. I was just about to say they had the numbers, but because of Fire, because of the longboats and the galleons stacked, and also credit to Dogao for adding more numbers, they hold. With less people in the fight on water, they hold. Incredible stuff. Miguel's on the way to imp for them. Still not sure what he'll go for. He's actually going for fires now, Zach. He's adding docks. So now, he will join.
Now, we said before that Tato was going for land, and he was. He's making a landing on the left side now. And of course, Condottiero are a team bonus, so you get them as the Japanese as well. Not too much damage here yet, but the castles are down. And Riot's now going to have to divert his attention to this. However, with only one screen, we can only show one thing at a time. So we have to show either the water fight or the landing. But fortunately, because we're 3K casters, we didn't miss anything important on the landing, and you saw the water fight, and now we're seeing the devastation of the Condottiero from Tato.
And this will immediately reflect on water. The condos are Japanese condos, so they have that attack speed as well. Riot, I think he recognizes he's going to die. He's telling Dogao to stonewall so these condos don't get through to him.
Oh man, but it's over, man. It's over. Secret,
they call it GG.
Secret are going to win the land conclusively on the left side, and they're actually pushing back on the water as well.
Wow, what a freaking game. 40 minutes, 21 seconds, but that was action-packed, man. That was action-packed. Oh, man, how do you even start to reflect upon that game? We had everything. We had caravels to longboats to fires to galleons.
We had every unit on the water possible, with the exception of heavy demolition ship.
Correct, yep. And even on lands, we had the condos, we had the team bonuses, we had the trebs. Insane stuff there. I think what it came down to is more people were on water for Secret. When Miguel started slinging fire, that was with the intention of killing the secret players. It was not to be in
Yeah.
50-50 engagements. It
Yeah.
was to kill them. And secret,
Yes,
they held
exactly.
on. They ran back a couple times, and then they realized, okay, eventually we'll have the numbers because we have 4 on water. And I think at that point, when they realized they were okay, they then said, Tatsu, you can actually justify going on land.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
It was a good strategy from LoS. It didn't work out, and I guess the fast castle was the play for Viper.
That was an awesome game, and this is the thing, right? With these water battles, this is why I didn't want to look away from this, because one fight can decide the game, and this fight at the end decided the game. LoS were like, okay, we can't win the water, it's done. Meanwhile, I mean, you've also got Tato pushing in with those condos on the left side, Japanese condos, obviously attacking faster as well, and they would absolutely steamroll Riot on this left side.
Look at the KD for Viper, 114 kills and 55 deaths. Now, that's obviously impressive, but that was only possible because of Doubt and Tato having mediocre KDs because of sacrificing fires. Viper had a constant meat shield in front in the Imperial Age, and Fire didn't really have that. Miguel was about to go for fire ships for his team because they knew it was needed, but it was too late at that point.
Yeah. And I love that both teams are just constantly waiting for the right fight. And it looked like LoS were in a great position to take the fight, and then Secret would back off. And then just as you think, okay, yeah, Secret are backed up to the docks, LoS are going to push through and take the fight, they go back.
Yeah.
Because they're not confident. Because it's one of those things. You have to be 110% that you are going to win that fight, and then you commit. Because as soon as you turn around and run away after you've committed, you take too many losses because of ballistics.
Yeah. And the only way you can be damn sure you're going to win a fight is if you've experienced a fight similar to that at least 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like these guys don't look at tech trees to figure out if they'll win a fight. They experience it, and they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And the thing is as well, like, because they're so closely matched, these players are so closely matched, one of the things that catches them out sometimes is like they think they've got a lead, but the window that they have to do the damage is so small. Like the difference between Fire getting elite longboat and Viper getting elite longboat was maybe a minute, and that's not long enough to take the fight and win it conclusively. And the last thing you want is to be in the middle of a fight when a big tech comes in for your enemy and suddenly you've lost it. Because like we say, once you're committed, on the water at least. You can't just run away and expect to get out of there when your opponent has ballistics and they're going to be doing damage on the retreat.
So the weak link in hindsight was actually Miguel here. Miguel losing to Doubt was a pretty big deal because right after he lost, he went into the sling. Yeah. The reason they lost was because they didn't have numbers on water. So Miguel played amazing in game 1 and game 3. Doubt bested him here, and I know there's a lot that went into this, but I think that's what made Miguel sling, and that's what brought us to this point. Dude, I could not be more excited for Game 5. And this is just the semifinals.
I know,
for those
right?
watching the stream, this is just the semifinals, so we have the finals coming up.
Yeah, and I tell you, this is one of the best Baltic games I've seen in a long time. One of the best water games I've seen on the expansions due to the fact that we had such variety going on there. We didn't really talk about the Caravel and how that affects things. Like, it's basically got the same HP as the Galleon, the same attack, the same armor, and the same range. What's the difference? Well, its damage is more like a Scorpion. So against fires, it actually performs pretty well, and it also hits the units in the back line. But I don't think the Caravels had much of an impact in that match, to be honest.
One more thought here, and then we don't want to talk too long because the viewers will say shut it, right? So I said that players have to have that feeling. They have to be confident they're going to win a fight. Well, in just regular rated games, when these guys stream and play, they don't actually play Baltic. So this just proves that guys have been training. They've been strategizing offline in secret, for lack of a better word. And Yeah, anyway.
All right, we're being told to shut it. Sorry,
Yeah,
but, I mean,
yeah, of course they
the
are.
post-game analysis is, I mean, on a game like this, it's so interesting to talk about it. There's so many factors that go into winning a game like that. There's so many things that we don't necessarily get to cover in the game.
In the game.
That's nice to just go over at the end because there's always so many things. So a quick skip over the achievements there, and we're going to be going into the 5th game. Guys, it's going to be match point. It's 2-2, and I don't know why the overlay just kind of bugs out here. I'll fix that. But yeah, it's 2-2, and Cross will be the decider. One of the other great hybrid maps, I would say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I think it's a perfect game to end on.
Absolutely. Cross and Scandinavia have been generating some fantastic games so far, and I can see the 14s in the chat, so we're going to be starting the game in just a second here. Of course, the winner of this game will go through to the grand final, and they will face SY for the championship, I suppose, for Europe East 4v4.
When is that final, by the way?
Oh,
when is that?
It's right after this game.
What? Are you kidding me?
It's today.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
And they're also playing for $3,000, which is the first place prize for the 4v4 event. Second place with 1,500 and joint third with 568. But I think we're doing it. We're going into game number 5. LoS versus Secret. Game 5 here. The match point, the decider. Who wins this and who goes home will all be found out in just a few moments' time. Or not moments. We don't know how long the game's going to be. Could be an hour, could be 2. But it's certainly going to be a good one. I can tell you that much for free.
All right, buckle up, my friends. The Laming Fest begins. Just as I'm about to introduce Secret, I see that Tato in the orange is possibly going to lose a board to Miguel. So we don't have too much time to do the introductions because these guys get started right away. Zach.
Oh, no, he's stealing Miguel's board, and Miguel's stealing back. So there you go.
It's a board swap. It's a board swap.
Yep. They're trading their HP, and that's it.
It honestly felt like they agreed to do that as well because they attacked the board at the same time. Like, okay, listen, you have that one, I'll have this one. We'll share.
Basically, Miguel wins because he's got more health on his scouts. So well played, Miguel.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Well played. I'm going to go over to Tata now. He's playing as the Khmer. His pocket is the Viper. Viper's playing as the Celts. In the red, we have Jordan 23. He's playing as the Turks, which is a civ we've seen more often than I expected in this tournament. So maybe some more slinging. Doubt is playing as the Magyars as the other flank. Zach, take it away with LoS.
Yeah, down on the south, on the flank, it's Riot. He's playing as the Mongols here. Pocket, you've got Fire playing as the Byzantines. Dugao, Spanish in the teal. And Miguel on the other flank playing as the Franks in the green. Did we see... No, they didn't play Turks already. That must have been the last set. Because we have seen Turks an unusual amount. And I can tell you why it is. It's because everybody knows they're the best civ in the game. So, of course, players are going to utilize that to their advantage.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on YouTube who disagree with you, Zach.
Well, I disagree with them.
I remember the history. We won't get into it.
No. But you know what, though? I am wondering, did Tato actually lame his own boar?
No, he didn't. Wait, unless...
Because
there's a scout...
No. Sorry, no. We're not on Scandinavia.
It's behind the it's behind the TC.
Sorry.
But Miguel's waiting there. Yeah. I did check immediately after the lame to see. Miguel's waiting there, and I think he'll lame Tato. Will Vipers see Miguel's scout? Because if not, Tato might have Loom, but he could still lose this villager.
Viper's there, though, as well. He's okay.
I think they're communicating. Yeah, Viper will assist here.
Look at this. Fire coming down to the south to build a dock right now.
Oh, I like this. This is what I said in the other game, man. I said that every time I've seen a team have 2 people dock on the one flank pond, they've won in this tournament. Every time. So LoS has chosen to do that. And it's actually safe docks for Jordan and Viper on the back.
Yeah, on this left side.
Yeah, so the reason I think that this can be good is because they can have control of 3 ponds potentially.
Yeah.
It will be a 1v1 between Miguel and Tato in the north. If Miguel wins that, They'll have an easy victory then in the south LOS, and they'll have their pond in the back. And as you know, the fish boom is so important.
Yep, and that's going to be Franks versus Khmer. Looks like Miguel may lose a villager here. Oh, no, Tato trying to go for the hill.
Viper's
coming over, but Miguel's walled himself in. We'll have to play hostage for a while there, I think. But we've got the scout of Degao coming over as well. Degao actually has more health on his scout, so it looks like they'll actually get this villager back. And, well, they might end up diving for the Vil, but I don't think Viper would do that because I think he values the scout too much.
He'll value the scout here.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vil will actually get a piece of the action.
Oh, he'll get a rib shot in. But I always picture it as the villagers just punching the ribs of the horse.
Shot. That's great, man. Viper does kill Miguel's scout.
Yeah.
He will run away with his, so I guess that's not too bad.
Action. Well, I noticed Riot actually stole a boar in the south from Doubt, by the way. But Doubt now, interestingly, heavy on wood, low on food, not clicked up to feudal. What's going on?
He must have lost sheep as well.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he lost sheep as well.
He's going to bring a sheep home, but the lame is real right now. And
so they lose the pond, and he'll lose his fish,
yes,
Zach.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So maybe LOS here shaping up to have 3 ponds. Also, Tato having 2 sheep blamed by Miguel, by the way, in the north. 2 sheep on the northwest of the map, just hiding there.
So guys, when we cast games, after doing this enough times, there's an order that we address things. This game has had no order because it has been insane with all the laming, and then you're bringing pawns into the equation. It is really difficult. So at some point this will even out a little bit, but Riot is in a good position in the south.
Viper on a fast castle build though. Way later to feudal, 30 population right now, including his fish. And, well, we'll see how that develops, of course, but things are going to hot up on the ponds very soon, as Doubt will undoubtedly lose his pond. And in the north, it's going to be Franks versus Khmer, and you have to favor the Franks there, you'd think, in terms of raw feudal timing. But actually, Tato makes it up first.
Yeah, Tato so often is the guy that Secret relies on when it comes to water. This is a bold prediction, but if Secret loses the northern pond, I'd say it's over. Like, almost. Because Doubt's so far behind. He's in full wall mode as he loses his fish. Viper has actually docked that one pond with Tato, so he could lose his fish as well. Miguel could do a lot of damage here, man.
He could, but I don't think Miguel's winning the water here. You've already got the first fires out for Tato. So Tato, holding the gauntlet here for his team and actually making sure that they don't go out to such an unfortunate start. Maybe not an unfortunate start because a lot of this stuff is preventable. But yeah, essentially, I think Miguel will not win the water, but he might kill some fish. And Viper, fortunately, does have the other pond in the back, so at least they have a failsafe here as well.
Yep, Jordan 23, the other pocket for Secret, is going with scouts as Mongols. His scouts have not gone forward yet. He's patrolling the chokes so they can get team walls up. And Riot arrives with his own scouts. And Tato is letting Jordan know that these units are on the way.
They're coming, man. They're coming. Oh, no doubt here. Very close to losing a villager there, building a barracks in no man's land. But it looks like he'll get it up. And the team play there from Secret showing as they communicate this between each other. That's nice. But, man, I'm so freaking hyped right now. I mean, Degao coming in at the north, by the way, as well, with the scouts there. And it looks like he might have an angle onto Tato's wood line. Tato has got a spearman, but, Tato's focus so far has been on the water. So he's wide open to some aggression here. No team wall for the Secret team just yet.
Just a small thing. I don't think Miguel expects Viper to be on this pond. So now he's... Oh, yeah, now he sees the dock. Exactly. So he might prioritize this a little bit more. It could snipe some of Viper's fish. Tato only has one remaining.
Meanwhile, greedy Viper being doubled now by Degao and Riot. He's the only player that's gone for a fast castle. He's lost a villager. He's not able to get his second stable up, but I think he will with the addition of a couple of spears. And he's basically going to go for Celt Knights from pocket to try and wrestle back some map control and clean up these scouts. Maybe strike back and do some counter-attacking as well.
Tato could be doubled now. In comes Dogao. He'll pick off one spear. Nice micro. But he needs to get away from this. Yeah. Oh, he's microed it.
Yeah. That's okay, actually, isn't it?
That's okay, because Riot's coming around the other side. And Tato's quick walls. Tato's quick walls save all of his villagers? Or... Well, he saved the... At least he's still collecting gold.
He needs a
That quick
gate
wall is
here
clutch.
on the left side. A gate and a palisade. Something. Just... Oh, no, the scouts are in again. And Jordan's now coming over with his scouts as well. Fortunately, Tato can hop into the houses, of course, in Khmer, which is something we often forget about. But certainly a lot of raiding onto Tato so far. Tato killing 8, losing 7, however. Certainly didn't quite well on the water so far.
Yeah, Miguel still pressuring that water, and Viper is now losing some of his fishing ships. So despite Tato winning on water, I guess, fishing ships can still die. Fire is slinging Riot. Fire is slinging the Mongol flank. The Mongol flank, which has had a really big advantage over Doubt so far this game. This could be trouble for Secret. If Riot can get to a castle at some point with Mangadai receiving Sling, it's going to be very tough for Secret.
True, but Viper's got quite an advantage in knight production already. Now, granted, they're Celt Knights, but he already has 8 military, and I think that means he's got 6 knights as he's got 2 spears. He's working on his eco at the same time. He's also got 11 fish working, but when you look at the fish numbers, and you look at the other side, Fire's got 16, Dagao's got 17, and these guys have got a really strong food economy going, as Secret just about win the North Pond, and the left pond is being fished by 3 of them right now.
Viper's Knights can't get in. LoS have full walled their base. When Dogao hits Castle Age, which is about to happen, he will build a castle and he will add Conquistadors, which will shred Celt Knights. I don't think Viper can do damage with these Knights, and that's a big problem for them.
It is, and actually it's interesting because, you know, they went for this early scout aggression, and admittedly, they didn't actually get that many villager kills, but... Oh, maybe they did, actually, because Riot's got a 10-2 KD, and I can only assume it's from the scouts. But either way, the point here, really, is that it's given them so much time to wall up, and it's given them time to close it, check it, double-check it, and make sure there are no holes. And now Dogao will make that castle, as you say, and Viper...
Build a house, Dogao.
Yeah.
Build a house. Oh,
he was risking
that makes
it there.
me uneasy, man. That raises my blood pressure. Oh God, that could have been so bad. He's fine though. These guys are cool and calm under pressure. I was just getting stressed out by watching the game. Jeez.
Yes, in the south as well, Riot now. You said he was receiving Sling earlier. He's got some knights coming up. Doubt moving into Magyar Cavalry Archers, which are actually really strong. Oh, what was it?
Wow, that was close.
He's got it. He's got it under control.
It's fine, man. It's fine. It's Doubt. He's got it under control indeed.
The 3 wolves want a piece of the action. 4
As
wolves
always,
now.
Man.
Make it 4. Make it 5 if this one gets involved. Make it. Well, it will be 5.
Yeah,
oh, maybe not. This one.
You know what? Are they attacking the weak knight? Oh, they're not. I wouldn't mind seeing a knight get killed off by a wolf.
If only. But yeah, I mean, in this situation, you've got Celt Knights versus Mongol Knights, and I think this maybe wasn't the plan, was it? I don't think they really wanted Viper to be going into double stable Knights here.
Yeah, it was not the plan, and Jordan has to assist with camels. He arrives, and that might be just enough. And to the 2 weak flanks in the north, Tato and Miguel. I say weak because they're slow. They are about to hit Castle Age at the same time.
Man, the Wolves are having a field day right here, though.
Seriously.
Still on lock on those knights. They're like homing missiles. And Riot, I mean, he's not losing any health, really, but it's just kind of funny to see them go. But engagement here comes in as Dogao brings over the Conquistador. Viper's out of position with his knights right now, and all the camels have basically been taken out. So Doubt going to have to run back. Jordan running back, and the Secret guys are a bit split. Uh-oh, he could let Riot into his base here. And Riot's going to go for it.
He does let Riot into his base. The monk goes down. The Cav Archers, they don't have Thumb Ring yet. They're also fighting uphill. What an engagement for LoS, and the Conquistadors and Knights could follow through the gate.
Yeah, they're going to take the gate down super quick. 400 health. And that's an opening into Doubt space. He needs more camels from Jordan, but fortunately Jordan will supply. And even Viper now bringing over more knights as well. But this makes me worried for Tato. This makes me concerned that Tato is going to be in a bit of a troublesome situation fairly soon.
Yeah, definitely possible, man. Definitely possible. Miguel for LoS on Tato's side. He's just booming up. So at some point he will want to go for Paladin, but that we're talking much later.
Yeah, now, worth noting, scores are close, actually. Secret have a slight score lead right now, but it's kind of hard to see where that's coming from at the moment. I mean, look at Riot, 25 kills, 13 deaths. The army comp for LoS does seem to be better at this stage.
Yeah.
And just wondering now, where does this develop to? Do they keep pushing onto Doubt? Or do they try and go somewhere else, do something else here? Because I think this is working quite well on Doubt at the moment. But Secret are going to start building up more and more army to repel this.
The only vulnerable area for LoS is Miguel, because Miguel doesn't have any military. But he could always receive help from Dogal, because Dogal has conks.
Good fight here, though, as Jordan comes in the back line with the camels. Might try and block the Conquistador here. Does get a good engagement there against them. Lots of bonus damage coming down.
Oh, that's a great fight.
And that is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan, he has good upgrades as well. Unfortunately, he's fighting uphill there for the rest of the fight, but that's as good as it gets. Dogal needs to stick with Riot. They need to communicate a little bit more. Those Conquistadors should not have got caught out like that.
I'm wondering how many knights Viper made, because he's only got 3 kills and 3 deaths right now.
Well, he has 80 villagers. He is 80 vills, man. So he's about to click up to imp. He's at the largest economy after that fast castle age. And he's heavy on stone, so he will go for Woad Raiders.
Doubt's going up to imp right now as well. And he's getting slung by Tato. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so you relegated your Khmer player to slinging. I think that's okay. They can always come into the game later, and they take longer to activate, so maybe actually slinging as the Khmer is okay for now. Viper and Doubt are going to be in very soon. Doubt's just going to keep going for Cav Archers, and as you say, Viper will switch into Woads. Do you think the Woads are going to be that good here?
It depends on what Riot's up to. See, Riot's on 2 castles. So, I don't know. I do think they'll have a nice little early push. However, I just don't know. When you're being slung, you also need to have your own economy. Doubt doesn't have a huge ball of Cav Archers. He doesn't have access to that gold. So, this could become an issue real fast, despite being slung here. And this is all before Miguel gets to full strength. He's on 90 vills. Miguel will go for Paladin without sling in the next couple minutes.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Look how many TCs. Oh, no, never mind. He's got 5 TCs. I thought he had 6 because this tier 1 looked green for a second. I was like, this is 6 TCs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be Frank Paladin as well, by the way. So that's only going to be beat here by Khmer Elephants, and the Khmer player is currently slinging. So, yeah, it's kind of worrying.
I guess another option for Secret, though, Zach. Sorry.
Go ahead.
If Doubt can just hold, he's building a castle now, so that's perfect. Just hold. Viper can go right to Miguel, and he's building barracks, he's building siege workshops. If he goes with Halberdier Siege Ram, Miguel just dies.
Wait, yeah, Miguel's on the other side.
Viper's building up right next to Miguel's
Oh,
walls.
there. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I see what you mean. Yeah, Viper is building on the other side. I was looking at Doubt building the castle. I was like, how is Doubt going to get to Miguel? But no, I see exactly what you mean. Up in that north side. But in comes Riot, and he's going to scout this. And
he's going to scout this. And Viper's castle, unfortunately for them, will go up. Miguel wanted to build one of his own. Don't delete the castle, Miguel! Delete the castle! Okay, he saved the stone.
He deleted it. I hope.
Yeah. He did. Regardless, though, it's very good that they got here just to stop Viper's momentum.
Yeah, killing the Rams nice and early. A lot of conks here as well. Viper's basically just got a garrison inside the buildings rather than actually pushing out. But he has got Siege Ram on the way. He has got Halb already. And Jordan's coming over with a lot of camels right now. So this could be a good momentum swing for Secret if they get this push going. And they're going to start that push right now.
For LoS, the big question is, where does Riot go? Because he has Elite Mangadai now. He has 3 castles. He has the stone to build 2 more, and he's still collecting stone. So Riot really carrying his team here. He gets Cavalier first. That's a really good fight next to the Conquistadors. And this is before the Mangadai arrive. So can LOS hold here? I think their team is much stronger as a whole. They just need to get Riot on full Mangadai production. He needs to have 50 to 60. And then there's really nothing that Viper's team can do.
Miguel trying to stall here, but I think the walls will not be able to hold out at all, as the villagers will go down and the rams will puncture their way in. Where did the army from Riot go? Oh, he's holding out on the right side with the conks, right?
Yeah, he's going to move around, I guess, go into Miguel's base to save him.
Well, here they go. Secret making their push here. The castle going to go down pretty quickly as Trebs deploy at the back, but we don't... Pardon me, have heavy camel yet from Jordan, and this is going to be weak camels now, just basically being thrown away here, I feel.
Yeah, and the Halberdiers are strong versus Cavaliers, especially Mongol Cavalier, but with the Conquistadors behind, I don't see this working out. Miguel still has 100 villagers, so he can make his own Paladin, and he's working on that as the Imperial Age upgrade comes in.
Yeah, but what if he loses his stables? What if he loses his stables here, and he can't make get the production going? Look at the Cavalier. What Cavalier?
They're gone. The Conquistadors. That's all that remains.
Yeah.
South has heavy Cav Archer, and where on earth is Riot? He's not here.
Riot's in the south with the Mangadai.
Wow. I'm honestly surprised. Keep in mind, Fire has been slinging him this entire time. I'm honestly surprised that Riot doesn't have more Mangadai on the field.
I mean, he did do Cavalier and a lot of Knights, so that's understandable. True. But I love the switch, right? So much fighting was going on in the south, and now they've completely switched up to the north. You've got Doubt with heavy cavalry archers here as well, which are going to perform well versus the conks in mass like this, especially since they are the Magyars, and he'll get recurve bow. But yeah, they're actually killing the stables of Miguel, and this is such a momentum play now for Secret as they push through here, and maybe starting on their push to the grand finals as well. Look at this, we got Scorpions coming out for Viper here as well. I like that.
If LOS didn't have Mongols, the game would be over. The only thing that can really bring them back here is Elite Mangadai, I feel.
And now look at, sorry to interrupt you there, but look at Jordan on the back lines. He's just waiting. In about 30 seconds, he's going to have heavy camel, and he's just going to come in the back and trap these conks and Mangadai. I can see it now.
Is the timing going to be right, though?
I don't know.
Doubt loses a lot of his CA.
He's going to come in, though, and do it. But yeah, I guess they've lost a lot of CA. But here he comes in the rear.
It could still work.
He's going to block, but I don't know, man. The conks are moving out to the right side.
Yeah, the engagement has been pretty good for Jordan. On the hill, he's stopping the reinforcements from Riot. Viper has heavy Scorpion. What a game here. The big deal now is that Fire and Miguel are at 100 pop for LOS. Riot's only at 130 himself. He just can't pop up his Mangadai. Yeah. And this is becoming more and more of a problem as Viper, he's pushing unrivaled with the siege rams. Nothing's there to kill them. Miguel is losing more and more space. LOS, they'll want to trade soon. They cannot with the lack of space.
Man, this looked so dire for Secret earlier on in the south with the push that was going on there. But, you know, they've completely turned it around very quickly, short space of time, and they've gutted out the front of Miguel's base. Miguel, however, does have Paladin on the way. That's all well and good, but how do you deal with the Celt player right now?
How do you deal with the Khmer player? Look what Tato's researching.
Oh, snap. Yeah. That Khmer player, I said it earlier on. I said the Khmer can come online later. That's fine. Because when they come online, they are going to be making a lot of elite battle elephants, and they will be unstoppable. What do they have to deal with battle elephants in this game? LOS, they don't really have much.
Yeah, the only unit is Mangadai, and Riot only has 20 of them. Jordan did a great job at taking that engagement on the hill and cutting off the reinforcements. Viper's death ball, his Celt death ball, it really can't be addressed unless you have your own siege. And they don't have time for that, LOS.
Yeah. Right now, they're just stalling, trying to, get together a decent number of military units so they can push this back. Paladin, Elite Conks, and Elite Mangadai, it's a pretty strong combo. But meanwhile, in the south, look at Doubt. He's fighting for that top score spot. And he's got fully upgraded Cav Archers now for the Magyars. He's got 4 Trebs, and he's taken out that castle. And you cannot afford to be losing your castles as the Mongol player here.
Riot's already having issues with the production, and now he's losing what I believe is his 3rd castle because there were 2 forward next to the mining camp.
Yeah.
Not good. This also will mean Dogal needs to help because I don't see Riot holding here, and Dogal can't afford to help because Tato and Jordan are pushing on the other side with Viper.
Fire still in the feudal age, going up to the castle age now as Viper pushes forward into Miguel's base. And Fire basically now is going to be slinging less resources. These guys have got to stall, they've got to hold until Fire can get in, but it's a long way away and I can't see it happening. They did not make enough of the sling. And this is such a great series because we've seen sling in different contexts. We've seen sling, 2 players slinging 1 and just steamrolling, and then we've seen slings where it actually hasn't worked out so well, and I think this is one of those games.
Yeah, for sure. It is game 5 in this best of 5. This is the semifinals. There's money on the line, there's prestige on the line, and there's also points towards the LAN on the line.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think LoS will give it up. I think they will try and stall, and to stall they'll build Bombard Towers, Zach. But it's going to be tough.
The Bombard Towers are coming up, that's important, but you know, Viper's made such progress already into Miguel's base. Miguel's trading here with Paladins into Haubs. And I mean, maybe these guys can try and trade along the bottom, but well, speaking of not giving it up, I think at some point you just have to admit that the game is lost. Look at how many cavalry archers Doubt has in the south. He's up to 77 military, and Secret, in what a close series that was, do pull through in that 5th game and secure themselves their place in the grand final versus SY, which will be coming up next.
Wow, what a best of 5. I almost can't believe it. Secret were down. They were on the brink of defeat. They won in an amazing Baltic game. And then they finished off LoS in game 5. A heartbreaking defeat for LoS, but great games all around, man. As you said, like the sling aspect of this has made it oh so interesting because Fire, he chose to sling first, but it didn't pay off in the end. Tato was more of a reactive kind of sling, right? He full walled and then started slinging Doubt to get him back into the game. And once Doubt got back into the game, Zach, there was no stopping him.
Yeah, I think they recognize that, you know, these Magyar heavy cavalry archers, they are so good. Even against Mangudai. Like, you need castles to produce Mangudai. You don't need castles for Cav Archers. You just pump them out from, like, 8 ranges. You know, Jordan using the Turks there to go for heavy camels. That worked out really nicely as well. And then by the time Tato had transitioned out of his sling, which, by the way, like, LoS went into this with the strategy to sling. That was their plan from the start, I believe. Fire was going to sling that game because he stayed slinging for a long time. Tato, he slung in, like you say, a reactionary way. He slung to get Doubt back into the game. He walled up and slung to do that. But then he himself went imp, and he was imp before Fire. So the secret sling was a much shorter, more concentrated sling, whereas the LoS sling was much more like okay, we're going to sling from early or mid-feudal, early castle, all the way through to the late game.
And that's the risky type of sling as well. When you decide to sling from feudal, it's a huge risk. And if it doesn't work for you, you generally lose like this. I know Jordan and Tato probably will not get as many plaudits because they weren't the ones playing the final pushes. But Doubt wouldn't be in this position if Tato didn't sling him. Also, Tato did a wonderful job winning the water initially, which saved Viper's fish and his fish. Just look at those fish traps. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jordan as well assisted with Doubt and Viper. Viper had Celts. He couldn't really invest heavily into the Knights. So Jordan had to go Camels, which may or may not have been part of the plan. And it worked out. It's almost the most impressive victory today for Secret because it felt like they were so far behind.
Yeah, it did. And what a beautiful set of games as well. All 5 games being played out. LoS, I mean, they are defeated here. They will win themselves. I think it's they will win $568. So it's $100 each in a bit. But they will be maybe a little bit frustrated because I think they could taste the victory. I think they played extremely well today. And I think they could have won this series. And I think Aftermath could have won their series against Secret as well. So Secret, they are dominant but they are very close in their series.
Yeah, and I think that the competition has been very heartwarming, man. Secret's not 3-0ing teams. They're
Hmm.
not 5-0ing teams. It's going down to the final game a lot. So I've said this frequently over the past year. We're in a time where there are other competing teams. Back in the Tyrant days, there was Tyrant Legends and Tyrant Warlords, which beat every other team. Like, it wasn't even close, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays we have SY, we have LoS, we have all these amazing players, and we're going to see SY versus Secret next in the final.
Yeah, we are. We're about half an hour ahead of schedule, and I think if we didn't have that issue with the second game in that series, we probably would be bang on schedule, actually. But man, oh man, Psy versus Secret for the grand final. And I'm not going to lie, as much as I love Killer B, I'm a little bit bummed because I'm so excited. I want to cast these games.
I've had a
I
great
want to
time
cast these
casting with you,
games.
man. I've had a great time casting with you. But
Yeah. Absolutely, me too. It's been a pleasure, and honestly, we should do it more often because it's so good, and I have such a good time. So we're gonna have Killer B joining us now. He's gonna be casting